This page is the front cover of Dreamcast Magazine, and it highlights the results of the second Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix across 9 categories. The cover promotes Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning, with a countdown to release and a Valentine's Day gift campaign. Other featured games include Elder Gate Volume 4, Konohana, True Report, Seihu no Rhapsody, Macross M3, and Angel Present. There are also mentions of games like Phantasy Star Online, 100 Swords, Arrow Dancing Eye, Golf Shiyuyo 2, Street Fighter 03 for matching service, and Ultimate Fighting Championship. The cover also notes the total number of votes cast in the Grand Prix was 8,315. Sections mentioned include reader rankings of Dreamcast titles, new developments for D-Direct, 21st Century Game Sound, Dreamcast multitasking, and Dorimaga-style typing. This page is an advertisement for the flight combat simulator game Arrow Dancing It's, announcing it's in-store now from February 15th. It highlights network battles for up to 4 players with free online play. The game is priced at 6,800 yen. There's also promotion for events happening at 40 game stores nationwide, with game tournaments and mini-game competitions planned. The advert lists specific dates and stores in Akihabara, Osaka, Fukuoka, and Shinjuku for events already concluded in January and February 2001. A network battle event is also announced for February 23, 2001. This page is an advertisement for Power Jet Racing 2001 on Dreamcast, asking, "Which jet would you like?" It announces the release date as March 22nd. Marked as CA. The game is priced at 5,800 yen, and the advert provides website addresses for both the game itself and the developer CRI, also known as CSK Research Institute. The next page showcases an advertisement for The Rhapsody of Zephyr, a Dreamcast game. The advert features 4 anime-style characters prominently displayed against a dark background. The top right corner shows the Dreamcast logo and Japanese text promoting the game's impact and stating, "Korea, and then Japan was excited by the impact. Dreamcast on stage!" The game title is written in large Japanese characters and is followed by its English title, The Rhapsody of Zephyr. This page is the contents page for the magazine, and it highlights the main feature as the second Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix, where the top 9 games of the year 2000 have been decided by reader votes. Other articles include special features on typing software recommendations and secret techniques to enhance your gameplay experience. There's also news about the Dreamcast Direct service and the final round of the Segam.com project. Game previews and articles are featured for Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning, Eldorado Gate Volume 4, Konohana, True Report, and The Rhapsody of Zephyr. Finally, at the bottom there's an explanation of icons used throughout the magazine to indicate various game features, like network compatibility and controller types. This page showcases the Dreamcast Hot Information section, highlighting upcoming Dreamcast games such as the transforming fighter game Macross M3, the fishing game Fish Eyes Wild, the wrestling title WWF Royal Rumble, and Angel Present. The page also features the Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide listing games available for the system. These include the action game 100 Swords, the flight combat simulator Arrow Dancing It, the online RPG Phantasy Star Online, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Saikyoryu Dojo for matching service, the golf game Let's Golf 2 New Challenge, Ultimate Fighting Championship, and J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru Perfect 2. There is a section called Forward, Naomi Cram School introducing dynamic golf. For Game Boy Advance, Choo Choo Rocket is mentioned. Finally, the Game Index lists games covered in this issue, including Let's Gather, Guru Guru Hot Springs, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Arrow Dancing 1, Skies of Arcadia, Eldorado Gate Volume 4, Angel Present, Konohana, True Report, Let's Golf 2 New Challenge, Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning, Saskatsuku Special Edition, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Saikyoryu Dojo for matching service, Sega WWF Royal Rumble, and Treasure Strike. The AOU 2001 Amusement Expo, a major arcade game event, is set for February 24th. Key players like Sega, Namco, and Konami will showcase their new amusement machines. Exhibiting titles include video games from Arze, SNK, Konami's Bemani music games, Sammy's Thrill Drive 2 and Mocap Boxing, Sega's Virtua Fighter 4 and Monkey Ball, Taito's Majestic Dragons, Tecmo's Vampire Knight, and Namco's GAHAHA, I'm Funny, and Taiko no Tatsujin. Sega's booth will feature NAOMI 2 titles, with Virtua Striker 3 and Virtua Fighter 4 highlighted. Namco will host events for Mr. Driller Great, and Sammy will have a goods corner for Guilty Gear Zelix. Screenshots are provided for Virtua Striker 3, Wild Riders, Vampire Knight, Mocap Boxing, and Mr. Driller Great. GAMESTPOT reports on the 5th Japan Game Awards, highlighting Phantasy Star Online's nominations across various categories alongside titles like Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Final Fantasy IX. Limited edition merchandise from the Sakura Wars New Spring Song Show is available for mail order. Sega is launching Dreamcast Karaoke on March 29th, a subscription-based service with dedicated software and optional microphones. The service prices are listed. Finally, a GAMESTPOT weekly news ranking shows Sega's halting of Dreamcast production and a price drop as top stories, alongside other game releases. The deputy editor discusses Sega's current situation, including their focus on arcade games, at the AOU 2001 Expo. CGARTS is hosting Keramix.com, a CG character exhibition at the Tokyo Metropolitan Museum of Photography's Garden Hall on March 13th and 14th. Showcasing digital art from the Virtual Talent Audition 2001. Feedback is requested for a Sakutatsuku fan book, with a book prize offered. Classic Space Invaders is now available for Sharp Zaris PDAs for 1,000 yen. Pre-orders are open for a Canon alarm clock, with Mei Aoyagi's voice, with a March 10th deadline. Lastly, Sega's Tokyo Joybopolis and Namco's Tokyo Dome City are running a joint campaign with discounts. A joint campus access guide provides facility information for multiple locations. This page highlights upcoming events and presents for readers. An Ultraman live stage show titled Ultraman Live Stage 2 Space Monster Strongest Evolution will be performed in March, featuring Ultraman characters like Taiga, Dinah, and Gaia. There are also giveaway presents for readers, including a sight stick for easy website access, the Biyamani Pocket Best Hits 2000 handheld game featuring popular Bamani music like Dance Dance Revolution tracks, and a HAL single CD with a special pen case and portable stand set. Spot selection focuses on DVD releases, featuring the Mission Impossible 2 DVD, set to release on April 2nd, highlighting action sequences and Tom Cruise's performance. There's also a note about other media information being available from page 70 onwards. Dreamcast-related events mentioned are Fire Pro Wrestling D in Osaka on February 17th, allowing players to experience the upcoming Fire Pro Wrestling D game, and a Joyopolis Heartful Valentine event at Tokyo Joyopolis, running until February 18th. Lastly, the Dreamcast Network RPG Kingdom of Chaos is announced to be available on EaseWeb from February 1st, with monthly fees mentioned. This page is an advertisement for the Sakatsuku Special Edition Complete Guide for the game J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru. This definitive guide provides complete strategies and analysis for mastering the game, covering 4 key areas: management, training, team strategy, and personnel affairs. It reveals essential tips for club finances, effective player training, team tactics, and personnel management. The guide includes detailed data on 4,988 players and 1,008 managers and scouts. It's a 480-page, full-color. A 5-book priced at 1,800 yen and was scheduled for release in late March. It's also mentioned as containing a player directory and a fanbook section. The Dreamcast Weekly Sales Ranking Top 10 chart features a diverse range of games. Eldorado Gate Volume 3, a Capcom RPG, tops the list, followed by Phantasy Star Online, also an RPG. Ultimate Fighting Championship, a Capcom fighting game, secures 3rd place. J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru Special Edition, Sega, ranks 4th, a soccer club simulation game. GigaWing 2, Capcom, a shooting game, is 5th. Guilty Gear X, Sammy, a versus fighting game, comes in 6th. 7th is Let's Golf 2, New Challenge, a golf game. Fighting Vipers 2, Sega, a versus fighting game, is 8th. Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, Sega, an adventure game, holds 9th place. Finally, Eldorado Gate Volume 1, Capcom, rounds out the top 10, indicating the series' popularity. This page details anticipated Dreamcast games. Topping the Reader's Choice list is Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning from Sega, an adventure game promising a new system and improved freedom. Shenmue 2, also by Sega, comes in second, lauded as a must-play, with an emphasis on exploring Hong Kong. In third is Sonic Adventure 2, another Sega title, celebrating Sonic's 10th anniversary. The weekly pickup is WWF Royal Rumble by Ukes, a wrestling game. The Coming Soon section previews KONOHANA, True Report, a strategic RPG, and Close to Inori no Oka. The remaining list ranks games from 4th to 30th place, including titles like Sega, Crazy Taxi 2, Super Robot Wars Alpha, and many more, with a variety of genres represented. This page from a Dreamcast publication features 2 ranking charts. The first, Reader's Choice, Transplant Wish Title Ranking Top 20, details games readers wanted on Dreamcast, with AR, Knights, and Grandia leading the list. Other popular requests included titles from series like Shining Force, Shin Megami Tensei, and Metal Gear Solid. Screenshots of Guy Musia and Des Crimson OX, ranked 23rd and 25th, were also included. The text notes reader anticipation for Shining Force Online and Phantasy Star Online. The second chart, Video Game Income Ranking Top 15, likely reflects arcade game earnings, with Derby Owners Club 2000 and Virtua Fighter 3TB at the top. The weekly pickup section promotes the upcoming Dreamcast title Dynamic Golf and previews arcade games like Vampire Knight and Mr. Driller Great, also slated for Dreamcast release. This Dreamcast release schedule forecast outlines software, hardware peripherals, and Sega titles licensed to other companies. Key game releases in early 2001 included Macross M3, Fire Pro Wrestling D, Biohazard Code, Veronica Complete Edition, and SEGAGAGA. April saw the release of WWF Royal Rumble. Additional titles, though unannounced, were listed, including NBA HOOP2 and MSR Metropolis Street Racer. Hardware peripherals slated for March 2001 included the Dreamcast Visual Memory, Karaoke Box, Karaoke Kit, and Pearl Blue controllers. Sega titles supplied to other companies, including PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance, were also mentioned, featuring titles like Virtua Fighter 4. The document notes special editions often included extra items like laminated cards, trading cards, encyclopedias, shell figures, and mascot straps. DD only indicates Dreamcast Direct exclusive sales. This page showcases the Dreamcast Readers Ranking, a popularity contest voted on by readers. At the top spot, still reigning at number 1, is Soul Calibur. Other highly rated titles include Kukan no Kizuna, Saikon no Sho, Phantasy Star Online, Resident Evil Code, Veronica, and Skies of Arcadia. Further down the list are games like Crazy Taxi, Canon, Grandia 2, J-League Pro Soccer Club Build-Up, Golf Guys, Poppin' Music 2, Poppin' Music 4, Ape Disc, Blue Submarine No. 6, Time and Tide, Virtua Tennis, and Typing of the Dead. The page also highlights some newcomers in the rankings. Tokyo Bus Guide is featured as a new entry, with comments noting it's like a guide but enjoyable to play as a game, especially for beginners. Another new entry, Sakura Wars, Kinematron Flower Division Male, is described as having a movie disc bonus that users found useful and satisfying. Hot-Blooded Golf is another new game mentioned. A reader comments on the challenging analog controls, but otherwise recognizes it as a proper golf game, with appealing character designs. Lastly, Dejiko's Mail Go is introduced as a title with good opening presentation, suggesting that even Dream Passport data can be entertaining and dramatically enhanced in this game. This Dreamcast Games overview features several titles. Golf Shiuyo 2. New Challenge, ranked at 24, earns praise for its course design and characters, with online play being a plus. Gigawing 2, at 37, impresses with its bullet hell gameplay and character customization, providing a fun, long-lasting experience. Boku Doraemon, at 91, is loved for its Doraemon characters and accessible gameplay, even for newcomers, and features a 4-player mode. Fighting Vipers 2, at 106, offers tech-heavy, fast-paced battles with impressive moves. Lastly, Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, ranked 135, is lauded for its visuals and immersive underwater world, despite some potential gameplay confusion. This page showcases Dreamcast games, starting with Ultimate Fighting Championship, ranked number 1. Despite being 155th overall, it's noted as having difficult manual inputs and an American-oriented feel, but is praised for being a solid Dreamcast conversion of a fighting game. Next is Kunan no Kizuna Saikai no Chi, an adventure game, ranked 2nd, highlighted for its compelling story, substantial text volume, and improvements over the PlayStation version, though the text font is mentioned as somewhat unusual. Biohazard Code. Veronica, known internationally as Resident Evil Code. Veronica is at rank 4 and lauded for its engaging story, character models, impressive graphics, and genuinely scary elements, particularly with the Redfield siblings. Eternal Arcadia, released internationally as Skies of Arcadia, is ranked 5th and praised for its unique skyfaring setting, rich world exploration, cultural details, and engaging characters and pacing, capturing a sense of world travel. Grandia 2 is at rank 8, noted for being easy to pick up and play, with a compelling story, though lacking full voice acting. Character expressions and enjoyable battle scenes are also highlighted. Finally, Romania number 203, ranked 34th, is a simulation game focusing on lifestyle simulation through clicks, with a unique story and character interactions, including TV and radio broadcasts. On the right side, there is a ranking table featuring more Dreamcast titles and their scores. This Dreamcast page hails Phantasy Star Online as a summer must-buy. It's praised for its beautiful graphics, immersive real-time RPG gameplay, and revolutionary online interaction, allowing players to explore and find rare items with others. The game's longevity is highlighted, with players still actively engaged a year after release. Sega's Maker-san emphasizes the unique online experience, encouraging even lapsed gamers to try it. Player comments echo this sentiment, praising the game's simple, fun online concept and the constant stream of new content. The word Select System is lauded for accessibility. The page also includes a ranking of Dreamcast games from 135th to 192nd place, featuring titles like Echo the Dolphin, Power Stone 2, and Ready 2 Rumble Boxing. This page details Dreamcast game rankings and upcoming releases. The Oz Ranking Dreamcast Software BE lists games ranked from 193 to 205, including titles like Marionette Handler 2 and Street Fighter II Double Impact. The Oz Ranking Dreamcast Software B section focuses on Golf Shiuyo 2, noting its fluctuating popularity and showing screenshots of the game. It also mentions the rankings of Never 7, Gigawing 2, Super Bubble 2X, and Idora 06. Finally, the release soon, recent ranking expected software section previews upcoming games, including Capital 4, Cookies, Sydney 2000, and Neo Golden Logris, implying their anticipated success in future rankings. This page is brimming with Dreamcast news and previews. There are quick looks at a few upcoming titles, including Eldorado Gate Volume 3, an RPG from Capcom, 100 Swords, a strategy game, Super Heavy Battle Ki-Kai-O for matching service, an action title, and finally, the psychological game, categorized in the etc. genre. You can see the Oz Ranking Dreamcast peripheral devices and others, which lists popular Dreamcast accessories and their prices, like the Vibration Pack, Dreamcast keyboard, and various controllers. There's a section called Dream Master's Voice, where readers share their thoughts about the Dreamcast. One person mentions being surprised Sega is falling, while another asks if DC software will soon be worthless. Someone else compares VF4 to Devil Lady, and another reader thinks it will take 2 more years to play all 600th games. There are varied opinions, with some mentioning Life Games, and others discussing the DC Mark II. The magazine is also looking forward to March, expressing optimism for the Dreamcast, and highlighting the upcoming release of Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? They are actively seeking reader participation, and giving instructions on how to submit postcards. There's a double chance Oz prediction game, focused on Fighter Wrestling Ring D, likely Fire Pro Wrestling D, offering Dreamcast peripherals and visual memory units as prizes. They've also announced the winners for the previous prediction game, Macross M3. This week's special presents are also Dreamcast peripherals, including a Dreamcast arcade stick and VM. This page is a Dreamcast software review section, featuring 2 games. First up is Fish Eyes Wild, a fishing simulation game from Victor Interactive Software, hitting shelves on February 22nd. It scored a solid 7.33 on average. Reviewers praised the realistic graphics and sounds, emphasizing the beautiful fish forms and immersive fishing experience. However, they also noted it might be slow-paced for some, requiring patience. This title was likely a Japanly release. Next is Rhapsody of Zephyr, an RPG from Softmax, also releasing on February 22nd. This one received a 6.0 average. Reviewers acknowledged the good story originating from a Korean PC title, but criticized the controls as difficult, and mentioned readability issues with the text. They discussed the game's potential, but feel it fell short, questioning if it reflects a certain Korean sensibility. They point out control problems stemming from its PC origins, and highlight that while the story is engaging, the execution has flaws, especially in controls and interface. The next page is a feature on the game music composer Hiroshi Hayama, known as Super Child Prodigy. The main topic is his debut J-pop vocal album, Asu wa Hareru, which translates to Tomorrow Will Be Sunny, and is scheduled for release on February 7th. Hayama discusses his shift from game music to J-pop, explaining that he felt game music was becoming less relevant, and he wanted to express his individuality in a new genre. He describes his approach as a heterogeneous genre fighting technique. His discography is highlighted, featuring titles like Chao Kyu Kaijin, Jinai Naki Koibito Yo, Grand Chaser, and Game Music is Dead, among others. The track list for his album includes songs like Tai Yu, Sun, Sakura, Cherry Blossom, and Yumeka Genjitsu ka Sareru 2. Dream or reality, if you are carried away. The album cover is displayed, and details confirm its release date, price of 2,940 yen, and that it serves as the ending theme for the TV programs Game no Kachi on TVK and KBS Kyoto. This page highlights the trend of Dreamcast controller support in arcades, showcasing Capcom's adoption of this feature in several titles. The article emphasizes the appeal for players to use their familiar home controllers in arcades, improving the gaming experience. Capcom titles like Capcom vs. SNK, Millennium Fight 2000, and Project Justice, Moero Justice Gekuin, in Japan, are prominently featured as games that support this feature. The article details how arcade cabinets are being equipped with Dreamcast controller ports. There's a section discussing the VM visual memory functionality in these Capcom games, particularly Capcom vs. SNK and Project Justice, mentioning features like color editing for characters and saving character data directly onto the VM. The page includes comments from arcade staff at Game Fantasia Sunshine Store, who observe that players appreciate using their own Dreamcast controllers. Developers also express their enthusiasm for this trend, seeing it as a way to bridge the home and arcade experience and offer new ways to enjoy arcade games. The article concludes with the store details of Game Fantasia Sunshine Store in Tokyo. This page is a Valentine's Day promotional advert called St. Valentine's Day Service for Dreamcast Magazine readers. For 800 yen, readers can apply for a telecard, or possibly a fan book, designed with a Valentine's theme. 4 items are promoted in the advert. 1. Tricolor Crisis Drama CD Comic. This is linked to the Tricolor Crisis game, mentioning it as a Dreamcast theater comic. It highlights that this item is all new and includes illustrations by B. Teru. 2. Eternal Arcadia. This references the game Eternal Arcadia, Skies of Arcadia in the West, of his own. It mentions that the illustration was on the cover of the October 20, 2000 issue, and is a popular piece. Tricausenes. Again referencing Tricausenes Crisis, it notes this illustration was on the cover of the November 24, 2000 issue, and was another popular choice. 4. Melty-Lancer Rebirth. This appears to be for Melty-Lancer Rebirth End of the Century. It states that this illustration was on the cover of the November 10, 2000 issue, and features artwork by Nakamura Hiromi. The page also details the application process for these items, mentioning the use of a special application form, payment methods, and deadlines, with the deadline being March 9th, Friday. It also includes contact information for inquiries about the campaign and telecards. This Valentine's Day telecard promotion features several Sega games and characters. Highlights include cards for Guilty Gear X celebrating Sol Kai's battles, Phantasy Star Online commemorating its release, and multiple cards for Shenmue 2 showcasing Ryo, Joy, and Inasan. 100 Swords is noted for Katsumi Inami's illustrations, while Macross M3 features Haruhiko Mikimoto's art. Other cards include Darabar Channel Obake no Obake Riru no, Dorimagachan's Game Review Corner featuring Taiko no Tatsujin, DC Game Tiger's Den with angel and cat characters, Guru Guru Creatures Uekusa Yumiko, a Lovevox character, Irohiro Darisuku's Takemoto Izumi, and Samsung Yoshimatsu's Naomi-san. The cards celebrate Valentine's Day themes, often referencing chocolate and relationships. This page is showcasing exciting news from Dreamcast Direct. First up, they're announcing some serious price drops on Dreamcast consoles. The standard Dreamcast, the Sakura Taisen Dreamcast, and even the Hello Kitty Dreamcast are all getting cheaper. On top of that, they're launching a new line of metallic and pearl-colored Dreamcast consoles. Pearl Pink, Silver Metallic, and Pearl Blue, all priced at 14,000 yen. Finally, they are also introducing new point exchange items, including a cool portable CD player and some stylish VMUs, with designs like strawberry, numbers, and dolphins. This page reveals a discussion about the future of Dreamcast Direct, Sega's online store. The interview with Kubo Toshimasa and Takezaki Tadashi from Sega's ECRM marketing team highlights the success of D-Direct, boasting 200,000 members and sales exceeding initial targets, aiming for 2 billion yen. They confirm that despite Dreamcast production ending, D-Direct will continue to sell Dreamcast hardware, software, and peripherals. They emphasize the importance of D-Direct exclusive software and limited editions to keep the service appealing. The page also heavily promotes the Sega Limited Edition, priced at an extra 4,000 yen. This special edition is packed with premium and rare goods, including a notebook, system handbook, and a t-shirt featuring a prominent 5 logo. It's described as a very luxurious set for fans of the game, and a must-have for those who want to control the game industry in Sega. The page warns that it will likely sell out quickly, and encourages readers to pre-order immediately. Finally, the page concludes by reiterating the ongoing success of D-Direct and its growing membership. It mentions that special Dreamcast VMUs and consoles continue to be produced, and that the recent pre-orders for the Sakura Wars 3 limited edition caused server issues due to high demand, showing the service's continued popularity. A small section also touches upon the online server situation, noting over 100,000 online play registrants and promising a future report on the server infrastructure. This page is advertising 2 strategy guidebooks for Phantasy Star Online. The first guide, titled Phantasy Star Online Perfect Guide, is promoted as the ultimate resource for all hunters, packed with valuable data and materials. It boasts complete coverage of the game, from character creation to the deepest areas of Planet Regal, comprehensive strategies for character creation in all areas by class, numerous Hunter Guild quest walkthroughs, a detailed item list including special weapons and exclusive developer interviews. The second guide is called Phantasy Star Online Navigation Guide, designed as a starting point for exploring Planet Regal. It offers essential strategy information for hunters, covering everything from character creation to network connections. This guide is full of useful tips and techniques for both online and offline play, thorough walkthroughs of the early game, perfect guidance on basic character development, and extensive weapon, item, and enemy data, alongside detailed technique explanations. Both guides are currently available for purchase. This page is dedicated to Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, highlighting the game's new free-roaming system and event catch feature. The page details how the gameplay now centers around moving through the streets of Montmartre, allowing players to encounter various events. It is mentioned that this new system, called Event Catch, allows players to decide whether to participate in events they encounter. The page also showcases screenshots from the game displaying the day and night cycle and the city environment. Character artwork is featured, including Koran Lee, Sumire Kanzaki, Ichiro Ogami, and other members of the Paris Assault Force. Game data reveals Sakura Wars 3 is an adventure game, ADV, for one player, using 11 blocks of memory, and was released on March 22nd. It also mentions that initial copies of the game came in 2 versions, A-type with an Orgel set, and B-type with a VM set. The website address for OWorks is also provided. The headline proclaims, "Free movement, all details revealed," and "Release preparation progressing. New information-packed special feature." The page is promoting a special feature report from Dorimaga, Dreamcast Magazine. The text at the bottom emphatically states, "Under the banner of love, the Paris Assault Force, assemble." This page unveils more details about Montmartre in Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, showcasing the game's free-roaming exploration. We get a closer look at 7 key locations in the city. First is the Teatro Chat Noir, or Chat Noir as it's called, the central hub where artists and citizens gather. This theater hosts daytime reviews and grand nighttime performances. Next, we see the graveyard behind the church, a serene resting place for Parisians both past and present. The flower shop, always vibrant, stands near the graveyard, offering flowers for both everyday occasions and memorial visits to the graves. Erica's church is featured, raising questions about why she became a sister and the identity of the priest who watches over it. This location seems to be shrouded in mystery. The police station, equipped with incarceration facilities, is situated next to the library and is responsible for maintaining peace in Paris. It's mentioned that Robert was captured and is held here. Montmartre also boasts a top-notch restaurant, serving not only breakfast, but also exquisite French cuisine, highlighting the Parisian culinary scene. Finally, there's a bar tucked away in a suspicious back alley behind the restaurant. This is apparently Robert's favorite haunt, and a place where she and Ogami are sometimes seen enjoying drinks together. These locations offer a glimpse into the rich environment of Montmartre that players will be able to freely explore in Soccer Wars 3. This page delves deeper into the free-roaming aspect of Soccer Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, highlighting more of Montmartre's key locations. Location 8 is the Place of Relaxation Square, situated behind the Chat Noir Theater, a peaceful spot where artists sell their paintings and portraits and people unwind after shopping at the market. Moving on to location 9, we have the Japanese Embassy, a grand brick building located behind the circus. It is speculated that this might be where Ogami is stationed, making it a place of significance and mystery. Location 10 is the lively Montmartre Market, a bustling place where you can find everything from food to general goods. Coquelicot is said to work here, obtaining food for the circus animals. Location 11 is a park near Ogami's apartment, described as a tranquil space perfect for light exercise. It's mentioned that Erica teaches traditional Japanese games to the local children here. Location 12 is a bridge overlooking the river, leading towards the circus venue. The gentle river creates a serene atmosphere, but hints at potential dramatic scenes unfolding here. Location 13 features a cafe for breakfast in Paris, conveniently located in front of Ogami's apartment. It's a popular spot for Parisians to gather and chat, and frequented by Erica and Mel. Finally, location 14 is Coquelicot's Circus, a Vietnamese-style circus where Coquelicot belongs. It's known for its spectacular shows, with illusions, clowns, and acrobatics, drawing in large crowds. This page unveils the event catch system in Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? This new feature changes how players encounter events during free movement. Previously, events triggered automatically, forcing players into them with an exclamation mark over Ogami's head. Now, with event catch, players have a choice. When an event is triggered, a timer appears on screen, giving players a limited time to press the A button to engage with the event, or they can choose to ignore it and continue exploring. The game even provides hints about which character might be involved, allowing players to decide if they want to participate or pass. The page also highlights 2 limited edition items that will appear within the game itself. The first item is the Orgel Goal, a music box made by Chat Noir that plays the same music as in the game. It is described as a souvenir from Paris and can be used in the game. The second item is the portable kinematron, a receiver designed for portability, given to the player by Grandma. This device acts as a communication tool, essential for the commander of the Paris Floral Assault Group, and functions as a visual memo within the game. Both the Orgel Goal and portable kinematron will be available as in-game items, and are also included in the limited edition of the game as physical items. Screenshots show gameplay moments with Erica and Mel, illustrating the event catch system in action and the use of the portable kinematron. This page details the kinematron and new item portable kinematron for Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, showing how the communication device works within the game in Paris. It highlights that even in Paris, the kinematron is crucial for urgent communication. The portable kinematron is introduced as a new item that allows players to contact various characters like Mel, C, and Grandma by inputting their numbers using a dial interface or shortcut buttons. You can even have conversations with multiple people simultaneously using this system. One section focuses on using the kinematron to call Lobelia, suggesting she might be in the Shanowaru warehouse and hinting at a potential event involving her. The page emphasizes that the kinematron is not just for text, but also transmits voices, allowing for quick communication in emergencies. Screenshots depict gameplay scenes of characters using the Kinematron in different situations and locations, such as contacting Grandman and encountering Mel in what seems like a library or storage area. This page is a special report from Dreamcast Magazine, focusing on Eldorado Gate Volume 4. The game is set in the Arunbira region and introduces a new music mode, featuring a collection of 49 songs that can be listened to, allowing players to revisit past in-game music. The page also highlights the character Mima, describing her as a selfish and willful 12-year-old girl. Game information at the bottom right confirms it's a Capcom RPG, slated for release on April 4th. Priced at 2,800 yen, and supporting 1 to 2 players. This page is dedicated to Eldorado Gate Chapter 9. The story centers around Mima, raised by 3 grandmothers, who is a bit of a tomboy but full of energy. The chapter reveals that Aba, possibly her grandfather, has fallen ill with a mysterious stop disease, causing paralysis. Mama's special skill is bug catching, which might be relevant in battles, as many enemies seem to be insect-like. The story progresses, with Mima going to the Aegeon doctor for help, seeking a cure for the stop disease. Aegeon Sensei is described as a doctor who moved in next door, and he seems to know about a fairy that can cure the disease, and directs Mima to find the grassland fairy. Mima's combat ability is highlighted, mentioning her high willpower stat, making her a formidable character in close combat. The page also mentions download content scheduled for March 3rd, offering new staff data that Mima can equip. The Grassland Fairy is key to curing the stop disease, and screenshots show Mima encountering a gatekeeper who mentions Arunbira, connecting it to the setting of previous volumes. The article hints that Mima's adventure will continue to involve many people, and further troubles await her in volumes 2 and 3, emphasizing her headstrong and willful nature will see her through. Chapters 10 and 11 of Eldorado Gate are summarized. Chapter 10, Eat Papa Mama, follows Pamela's solo journey to find her companions in Arunbira. She's joined by Pantos. She's asked by Aran to find his son, Manma, leading her to a village rumored to house children. The chapter highlights her participation in a bustling martial arts tournament, where she does well. It also introduces an expanded synthesis shop, with a new married couple running it, and hints at a more complex system. Chapter 11, Holy Knight Gigi, focuses on Aaron and Manma. They are on a quest to recover something stolen from them, encountering Gigi, a holy knight. Gigi is the daughter of the holy knight leader, and is described as selfish, which contrasts with the traditional knightly virtues. The story teases the revelation of Gigi's unusual circumstances. The next page features Eldorado Gate Volume 4 and insights from the producer. This volume is positioned as the halfway point of the series. The producer expresses excitement about reaching this point, and mentions that the development team is skilled and enhancing the game beyond the main story, including adding a monster gallery. He highlights the popular rock soundtrack by Tsuji Band, and the inclusion of CM event scenes in each volume. He also mentions the addition of a music mode. 2 secret elements for Volumes 7 and 8 are revealed. Secret 1, Forgotten Land, describes a hidden area accessible from Vanisu Town, located on a southern peninsula. Players need the Crown of Knowledge to access it, and it's noted that strong monsters like Kanan await there. Secret 2, Geeky and Titan's 2 patterns, reveals different battle patterns for Geeky and Titan. By interacting with pots on the second floor of the Titan Dojo, players can trigger either Flame Geeky, Flame Titan, or, by ignoring the pots and going to the third floor, Red Geeky. Additionally, dialogue choices with Titan determine whether players face Powerful Titan or Magnificent Titan. Defeating both variations of these bosses is recommended for completing the monster gallery. The page includes screenshots showing gameplay, including shop menus with items like Platinum Rod, and battles with different versions of Geeky and Titan, highlighting the visual differences between the Powerful Titan and Magnificent Titan battles. This page is a preview of the mystery adventure game Konohana, True Report for the Dreamcast, developed by Success, known for their Super Light 1500 series. The game is set in Konohana Academy and revolves around a series of murders linked to a death god legend. Players will investigate these incidents. The game focuses on 2 main characters, Meguru Momoi, a transfer student and protagonist, and Miko Tachibana, a hot-blooded girl who drags Meguru into investigating. Miko is trying to get the school to approve the creation of a newspaper club. There are comments from the voice actors. Ayako Kawasumi, voice of Miko Tachibana, mentions her character is energetic and talkative, and enjoyed voicing a high school girl, reminiscing about her own school days. Akira Ishida, voice of Meguru Momoi, notes the large volume of dialogue in the full voice game, and expresses hope that players will enjoy the game's atmosphere and freedom to make choices. The game is priced at 2,800 yen and was scheduled for release on April 26th. It's an adventure game and playable by one player. The website address for success is also listed. Screenshots show in-game dialogue scenes and character portraits. One scene shows Miko and Meguru in what looks like a classroom setting. Another shows Miko commenting on a death god situation while observing a crime scene. This page continues the preview of Konohana, True Report. It highlights the game's setting, Konohana Academy, where a series of human incidents linked to a death god legend are unfolding. The story involves investigating a murder case within the school, focusing on the swimming pool area and a teacher named Yamanouchi-sensei. The protagonists, Meguru and Miko, are investigating the swimming club, and the page introduces 5 female members of the club. Fujisaki Futaba, a cheerful and mood-making second-year student. Nagayama Akiko, a quiet second-year student who hides her emotions. Asama Hitomi, a reliable third-year and club leader. Kishimoto Minori, a third-year with a sisterly personality who supports the club leader and is strong-willed. And Ishii Itsuko, a third-year with long hair and a calm personality who is kind and well-regarded. The text suggests the key to solving the incident lies within the swimming club. The page also details game features, such as message skipping and voice cut functions, as well as bonuses for clearing the game. It emphasizes a countdown to death theme, creating suspense and suggesting the characters are facing a deadly situation linked to the death god legend within the school. Dialogue snippets are shown hinting at fear and urgency within the unfolding events and the mystery surrounding the death god. This page introduces Seihou Gensu Kyoku, The Rhapsody of Zephyr, an upcoming Dreamcast release of a highly acclaimed Korean PC RPG by Softmax. This title, known for its beautiful graphics and tactical battle system, is set in the 17th century European-style fantasy world of Antaria. Players will take on the role of Cyrano, a character who has lost everything and must venture into the dark depths of this world. The Dreamcast version is based on a refined Japanese PC edition created by Nihon Falcom, which itself was significantly enhanced from the original Korean release. The game is touted as a polished and improved experience. The release date is set for February 22nd, priced at 5,800 yen. It will be on 1 GD-ROM disc and supports one player, requiring 40 blocks of VMU space. The page also shows battle scene screenshots and provides a website address for Softmax, highlighting Dreamcast compatibility features like VGA, network play, controller, and keyboard support. This page highlights the key features and selling points of Seihou Gensu Kyoku, The Rhapsody of Zephyr, for the Dreamcast. It emphasizes the game's deep and serious storyline, a rarity in recent games, focusing on mature themes and a heavy narrative. The protagonist, Cyrano, is presented as a man burdened by a painful past, having been betrayed by a close friend and forced into 14 years of hard labor. This tragic background is a driving force in his character and the unfolding revenge plot. The game boasts a meticulously crafted world called Antaria, described as a detailed and immersive setting with rich lore, including nations, religions, culture, and history. This depth extends to the graphics, which are praised for their density and beauty in portraying this world, creating a sense of realism for the player. The battle system is described as orthodox and authentic, rooted in traditional RPG mechanics, offering a solid and strategic gameplay experience, appealing to fans of classic RPGs. Rhapsody of Zephyr is also positioned as part of a larger series, emphasizing its heritage as a refined entry within an established world and lore. A key Dreamcast exclusive feature highlighted is the addition of a completely new CG opening movie. This movie is said to dynamically depict scenes from the game's prologue, focusing on Cyrano and Medina, adding a unique flavor to the Dreamcast version compared to the PC original, showcasing 3D CG characters alongside the familiar 2D illustrations. This page showcases the main characters and factions that shape the story of Seihou Gensu Kyoku, The Rhapsody of Zephyr. It introduces Cyrano and his companions, detailing Cyrano Bernstein, the protagonist seeking revenge. Silverna, a skilled female knight who joins Cyrano after being defeated by him. And Esmeralda, a devoted woman who uses healing magic and aids Cyrano. The page then describes the Revolutionary Army Zephyr Falcon, featuring Robert de' Medici, the calm and just leader, Karna Milanovic, a cheerful moodmaker within the group, and Isabel Lipnitz, a disciplined and rigorous second unit commander. Next, it outlines the imperial state religion faction, presenting Cesare Borgia, a cunning religious leader, and Alfred Frederick, a supporter of Cesare. Finally, the page highlights Dreamcast original enhancements, emphasizing improved visual presentation during conversation scenes, with beautifully rendered character graphics, which are exclusive to the Dreamcast version. This page delves into the simulation-like battle system of Seihou Gensukyoku, the Rhapsody of Zephyr. A key feature is the seamless transition, where the field map directly becomes the battlefield, offering a wide variety of combat scenarios. The game boasts diverse battle tactics, utilizing MP for magic and special moves alongside standard weapon attacks, including aiming strikes and mutual strikes. The page elaborates on different attack methods: normal attacks, using equipped weapons; special attacks, with learned skills and techniques; ultimate moves, powered by accumulated Kai energy; and magic, with elemental attributes and varying effects. Weapon parameters and usage are emphasized, highlighting the importance of choosing the right weapon for different situations. The game features a rich variety of weapon types, each with unique characteristics. A Dreamcast original feature is the enhanced boss battles, which are powered up with 3D CG graphics, making boss encounters more dynamic and visually impressive compared to the PC version. This page showcases the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000, announcing a total of 8,315 votes cast. Celebrating the year 2000 as the last of the 20th century, it appears to be the second edition of the Dreamcast Magazine event. The illustration depicts characters, one with a TV head and another with a Dreamcast head, on a stage in front of an audience, suggesting an awards ceremony or presentation. The number 32 is prominently featured, possibly indicating a ranking within the Grand Prix results. This page reveals the results of the Dreamcast #1 title decision, the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Awards. They announced the winners for various categories including Most Excellent Work, Graphics, Scenario, Music, Network Utilization, Best Character, Best Tri-Censorship, Package Art, and even a grand prize for the biggest news of the year 2000. They expanded the voting this year to postcards, internet, and email, which resulted in a record number of 8,315 votes. Over 3,000 postcard votes and over 5,000 internet votes were cast in total. The big question now is which of the 162 nominated games will take home the grand prize trophy for Most Excellent Work. This page announces the winner of the Most Excellent Work Award from the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000, and the top prize goes to Phantasy Star Online. The article mentions that there were many strong contenders nominated in 2000, such as Grandia 2, Eternal Arcadia, Skies of Arcadia, and Biohazard Code, Veronica, Resident Evil Code, Veronica. But Phantasy Star Online emerged as the victor. It received a total of 1963 votes, comprising 595 postcard votes and 1,368 internet votes, which accounted for 23.6% of all votes cast, and was significantly more than the second-place game. The interview section features comments from a representative, expressing surprise and delight at winning, especially considering the game was released late in the year and developed in a short time frame. They highlight that the focus on cooperative gameplay was a key factor in its success. The page also includes images of characters from Phantasy Star Online and a photo of someone, presumably from the development team, holding the award trophy. The page emphasizes that this award crowns Phantasy Star Online as the defining title of the end of the 20th century for the Dreamcast. This page continues the celebration of Phantasy Star Online, winning the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Most Excellent Work Award. It highlights the game being #1 and refers to it as a network new wave. The page features screenshots from Phantasy Star Online, showcasing in-game communication with speech bubbles and menus. It emphasizes the game's innovative network features, allowing cooperative play. The article includes an interview with staff members who expressed their joy at receiving the award, saying they aim to create something that Dreamcast owners desired in a network game. They discuss the surprising popularity, noting that initial sales were strong and continued to grow, reaching 100,000 users. They also mention the positive reception from overseas, particularly in America, highlighting the global appeal of Phantasy Star Online and their intent to continue developing the PSO series. The interview touches upon the game's development process, mentioning the focus on chat and team play as key elements that evolved during development and were crucial to the game's success. This page announces Grandia 2 as the second-place winner of the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 award, highlighting it as a user-voted RPG. The page features images of the development staff from Game Arts holding the award trophy and screenshots from Grandia 2 itself. The article includes an interview section where staff members express their delight at receiving the award for Grandia 2. They mention their initial concerns about whether users would accept the new elements they incorporated into Grandia 2, but they are pleased with the positive reception there. They discuss the challenge of creating a voluminous game within the constraints of a single GD-ROM, and the shift to 3D for Grandia 2 being a first for the company with character design. They mention considering online elements for the future of the Grandia series, noting the rise of online gaming in games like PSO, Phantasy Star Online, and express their desire to continue the Grandia series while evolving and incorporating user feedback and considering network options for future installments. The next page announces Eternal Arcadia, Skies of Arcadia, securing third place in the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 awards. The feature highlights it as a brand new title, achieving this rank, despite being original and not part of an established series. The article praises the game's characters, scenario, direction, and music, emphasizing the overall exhilarating feeling of adventure it provides. The page includes an interview section with staff members who express their joy at the recognition for Eternal Arcadia. They state their happiness that players enjoyed the game's world and originality, particularly the scenario and characters. One staff member mentions it was their biggest operation ever, involving over 100 staff members and being a large-scale project for Overworks. Another staff member reflects on the initial uncertainty during development, especially being their first full polygon RPG in 3D, and the pressure to create something enjoyable in 3D space. They express relief that the game was well received, especially considering the challenge of competing with established RPG franchises. They also mention the positive feedback from players who experienced the trial version, which gave them confidence. The page also contains a ranking table listing the top 25 games of the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000, and a separate table showcasing the top 5 games from the first Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix in 1999. The Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 awarded its Best Graphics prize to Dead or Alive 2, Tecmo, and Resident Evil Code, Veronica, Capcom. Dead or Alive 2 won first place, lauded for pushing the Dreamcast's graphical limits with stunning visuals, according to the developers, who also expressed their gratitude for the fan votes. The team highlighted their focus on visual innovation and the harmony between the game and its graphics. Resident Evil Code, Veronica secured second place, praised for its visuals enhancing the horror experience. Capcom's development team emphasized the game's seamless character models and polygon backgrounds, showcasing the Dreamcast's power. They were thrilled with the award, highlighting the importance of graphics, scenario, and sound, and are currently developing the complete edition. This page reveals the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix Best Graphics Award winners from 3rd place down to 25th place, continuing from the previous page's top 2 spots. Jet Set Radio from Sega, Smilebit, takes 3rd place, highlighted for its groundbreaking toon rendering and manga dimension visual style, which is described as anime-like polygon representation creating a fresh visual impact. Screenshots show the unique cel-shaded look of Jet Set Radio in gameplay. The developers at Sega mention that they aimed for a manga dimension aesthetic, pushing the boundaries of visual style, and are excited about the positive reception. They believe the game's visual style perfectly matches its gameplay and world setting, creating a strong user impact. They call the technique used toon rendering, and it's becoming more common in software, but Jet Set Radio truly brings it to life. Other notable games listed in the ranking include Eternal Arcadia, Skies of Arcadia, Grandia 2, Phantasy Star Online, Guilty Gear X, F355 Challenge, Crazy Taxi, Samba de Amigo, NFL 2K, Shenmue, and NBA 2K. A small screenshot for F355 Challenge shows its realistic graphics. There's also a table showing the results from the first Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix, 1999, where Soul Calibur, Namco, took the top spot, followed by Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka, Sonic Adventure, Cyber Troopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram, and D no Shokutaku 2, D2. This page announces the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Best Scenario Award winners. Taking the top spot is Kunan no Kizuna Saikon Shu, a visual novel adventure game from FOG. The page emphasizes the game's strong emotional impact and popularity since its release. An interview with FOG production staff, Munekiyo and Naoki Kato, reveals their surprise and delight at winning, considering it a testament to user support. They jokingly mention that Kato's violence was added to the scenario during the Dreamcast port, and the award feels like users forgave this addition. They also mention the game was released in August after initially being slated for May. The accompanying screenshot shows a scene with characters and dialogue boxes. In second place is Grandia 2 from GameArts. The page notes the scenario sparked debate, but still garnered significant attention. An interview with Yuzo Tsunaga from GameArts, who is in charge of the scenario, mentions the difficulty in pleasing everyone and aiming for an adult-oriented scenario. He reflects on the challenges of balancing various player expectations and finding a satisfying conclusion. Tsunaga also discusses the process of incorporating realism into the dialogue and the future direction of game scenarios, hoping for continued improvement and deeper player engagement, advising players to savor and appreciate the nuances in game scenarios. The screenshot features in-game characters in a battle scene. The Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Best Scenario Award results reveal Eternal Arcadia, Skies of Arcadia, as the third-place winner. Developed by Sega's Overworks, the game is lauded for its adventurous sky pirate narrative that blends serious moments with a satisfying conclusion. The team aimed for a fun, less violent story, and the initial drafts were land-based before evolving into the expansive sky setting, influenced by collaborative input. The page also highlights the improvement in scenario quality during the Dreamcast's second year, and lists the 1999 Best Scenario Award winners. Shenmue Chapter 1. Yokosuka took first place with Revive, Sosei, D no Shokutaku 2, Maken X, and Sonic Adventure following. The article includes an image from Skies of Arcadia, and another that alludes to Canon's emotional impact. This page announces the winners of the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 for the Best Music Award. Grandia 2 takes first place, praised for its Iwadare-style music, a nod to composer Noriyuki Iwadare. The staff are quoted expressing their joy and gratitude to the players, stating the award is a result of the entire team's efforts. The screenshot shows a character in a town area from Grandia 2. Second place goes to Crazy Taxi, recognized for music that perfectly matches the game's world. The team expresses thanks to both the big artist musicians used in the game and the users. They are grateful to players who enjoyed the game. The Crazy Taxi screenshots showcase typical gameplay, including the in-game timer and the taxi in action. The article highlights the use of bands like Bad Religion and The Offspring, noting it was unusual for games at the time to feature established artists, and this resonated well with players. This page continues the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Best Music Award results, announcing Kanon in third place. The development staff at NEC Interchannel expressed their joy at receiving the award, noting they aim to integrate music and scene direction in Kanon, emphasizing the harmony between scenario and music. The screenshot shows a scene from Kanon in a sound mode section. The article then briefly discusses the advancement in sound quality from previous consoles to the Dreamcast, highlighting the improvement in expressing music in games and aiming for game music to stand the test of time and remain memorable. Finally, it recaps the first Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix Best Music Awards from 1999, listing Space Channel 5 in first place, followed by Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka, Sonic Adventure, Pop Music 2, and D no Shokutaku 2. This page announces the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Network Application Grand Prize winners. Phantasy Star Online takes first place, praised as the game that most excites users. The article highlights how Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy dominated the industry, but Phantasy Star Online ignited the network gaming scene. The development staff from Sega discussed their initial concept of casual online play, which evolved into a full-fledged network RPG. They mention overcoming challenges in network graphic design and express joy in receiving the award. Second place goes to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. The article notes Capcom and KDDI's collaboration in developing the matching service network system. It emphasizes the game's role as a pioneer in online versus fighting on Dreamcast. The staff from Capcom expressed gratitude for the award and mentioned that the online matching service is also used for other games including Power Stone 2, Street Fighter 2, I Third Strike, Spawn, Vampire Chronicle, Cho Steel Kihei Kikai O, Tech Romancer, Net de Tennis, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Heritage for the Future. They encourage players to try the online services and state Capcom's commitment to developing higher quality network games in the future. Screenshots show gameplay from Phantasy Star Online and the online matching service menu from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 awarded Phantasy Star Online the top prize in its network application category, followed by Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Atsumare Guru Guru Onsen BB in third. Guru Guru Onsen, developed by Sega Waveworks, allowed Dreamcast users to connect and enjoy virtual hot springs. The game, despite being a broadband adapter-compatible version of the original, was embraced by the community, becoming a regular part of their online experience. The developers expressed gratitude and announced they were working on Guru Guru Onsen 2. The article contrasted the Dreamcast network gaming landscape between its first and second years, highlighting the breakthrough success of Phantasy Star Online. The success of Guru Guru Onsen further underscored the importance of network functionality. While games like Power Smash offered great gameplay, high connection fees remained a challenge for widespread network gaming at the time. This page announces the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Best Character Award winner as Neji Tarhei from ROOMMANIA, number 203. The character is described as ordinary yet extraordinary, appealing due to his relatability and unique design by Yuji Uekawa. The development staff expressed their delight at Neji Tarhei winning, stating they aim to create an unremarkable character that players would find relatable. They mentioned the initial design was quite different and more intense, and hint at future plans for the Saranapoj series, confirming a sequel is in consideration. The page also features comic strips and screenshots illustrating humorous gameplay scenarios from ROOMMANIA number 203. Showcasing the game's quirky nature and everyday life simulation elements. The webmaster, Makino, is pictured holding the award, humorously mentioning he secretly wished for a music award instead. This page reveals the results of the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Best Character Awards. Neji Tarhei from ROOMMANIA number 203 secured first place, a surprise win, as it was anticipated. Millennia from Grandia 2 would take the top spot, ultimately placing second. The article mentions male fans favored Neji Tarhei. Developers for Grandia 2 expressed delight that Millennia was loved and fulfilled her role as the game's image. Third place went to Susumu Hori from Mr. Driller. The Mr. Driller development team conveyed their happiness at Susumu's ranking, emphasizing the character's cuteness was recognized, and they are committed to creating more appealing characters. The page contrasts this year's results with the previous year's Dreamcast Character Awards in 1999, noting a shift in popular character types. In 1999, the top characters were Seaman from Seaman, Ulala from Space Channel 5, and Sonic from Sonic Adventure. This year's results show a move away from typical RPG and action game characters towards more unique and perhaps less conventional choices. This page announces the results of the Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Best License Award. First place goes to Capcom, recognized as the best partner due to their overwhelming number of titles. Out of 162 nominated titles, Capcom released 21 on Dreamcast. A Capcom representative expressed their delight and gratitude for the award, stating they are happy to be recognized by users and are committed to providing a strong lineup of games for fans, including titles in the vein of Gran Turismo. Reflecting on the year 2000, they mention Resident Evil Code, Veronica, as a title they focused on, originally a PlayStation Lil'd title but brought to Dreamcast. Second place is awarded to GameArts, praised as a veteran company that has supported Sega since its early hardware days. GameArts is described as an indispensable licensee, consistently releasing new titles and utilizing the Dreamcast's capabilities to create memorable gaming experiences. They are recognized for winning this award with Grandia. A representative from GameArts acknowledges that Dreamcast Magazine readers are likely fans of their games. Addressing the game, Grandia 2, they suggest some fans may have expected more but believe they met their minimum responsibility, and take the award as encouragement for future endeavors in Sega's home console gaming market. Screenshots from Project Justice and Grandia 2 are featured on the page. Fog secured third place in the Dreamcast Magazine Best License Award, expressing gratitude to fans, particularly those who bought the console for their games like Kudelia no Puzzle Kyukan. A Fog representative, Mr. Sokio, expressed surprise at the win, emphasizing their commitment to creating quality games and hinting at a new staff-focused project. The ranking table shows Capcom, Game Arts, and FOG in the top 3. The page analyzes the Dreamcast's software release numbers, noting 162 titles in the first year, and highlighting the need for licensee support. The text references a shift in popularity, with Capcom gaining significant votes and Vivarium and Namco previously holding top spots. The article includes screenshots featuring anime-style characters. This page reveals the winners of the Dreamcast Magazine Best Package Art Award for 2000. In first place is Eternal Arcadia, known internationally as Skies of Arcadius. The text praises the limited box and DVD-sized at-Barai editions, along with the standard edition packaging. The development staff expresses joy at winning, stating they aim to create something desirable that would sell well, even pushing for a limited edition due to potential sales success. One staff member, Kiyomiya, mentions wanting to make a limited edition from the beginning. Second place goes to Biohazard Code, Veronica, known internationally as Resident Evil Code, Veronica. Capcom's enthusiasm for packaging is highlighted. The initial limited edition featured Claire Redfield's vest design printed on the packaging. The article notes the red case, nicknamed Red Case, and mentions limited edition Dreamcast consoles in red and black STARS versions, with only 2,000 units available through lottery. The development team states they aimed for a strong package design to attract customers in stores, wanting buyers to be satisfied with their purchase, and confirms Capcom will continue to focus on enjoyable game packaging. They believe the award recognizes Capcom's approach to software creation beyond just design. This page continues the Dreamcast Magazine Best Package Art Awards, highlighting Jet Set Radio in third place. Developed by Smilebit, the game's package design is praised for its art style, evoking street graffiti and a cool, unique worldview. The developers aimed for a design that transcends typical game aesthetics, creating something with broader cultural appeal, like music or fashion. They wanted the packaging to feel at home in a room alongside other stylish items, not just stand out as a game. The page then looks back at package design trends over the past few years, particularly focusing on limited editions. In 1999, the top package art award winners were Seaman, D2, D no Shokutaku 2, Shenmue, Space Channel 5, and Choo Choo Rocket. The article notes that special limited editions have become more common, exemplified by Love Hina's Super Limited Edition, which included items like dolls and towels, showcasing the growing trend of elaborate and collectible game packaging. There's a photo showing examples of these limited editions, including the Love Hina items. The page suggests this trend is driven by fans wanting more than just the game software itself. The Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Major News Awards highlighted a tumultuous year for Sega. The top story was Sega splits into separate companies, reflecting significant changes. Other major news included the release of PSO, the possibility of Sega software on other platforms, and Sega's defeat in Sydney. The awards also featured the release of titles such as Dead or Alive 2, Capcom vs. SNK, and Biohazard. Compared to 1999's more optimistic news, which focused on upcoming games and the Dreamcast's potential, the 2000 awards painted a picture of Sega's challenges. The article highlighted Sakura Wars 3 as a boundary-pushing title, hinting at the Dreamcast's continued potential despite the changing landscape. The Dreamcast Magazine Grand Prix 2000 Major News Awards winners are announced, with prizes awarded in 6 categories. Prizes include Dreamcast Magazine telephone cards, Dreamcast games, magazine subscriptions, t-shirts and straps, Dreamcast peripherals, and web money cards. Various game developers offer comments on their awarded titles. Namco, Soul Calibur, expresses gratitude. Sega Smilebit, J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru, is moved by reader appreciation. Softmax, Golf Shiuyo, thanks fans, and hints at a sequel. Konami, Poppin' Music 2, celebrates, mentioning the rapper Scotty D. Sega Rally 2, is happy and thanks players. Sega overworks. Atsumare, Guru Onsen, humorously thanks players. Sega WoW, The House of the Dead 2, is grateful, highlighting their design philosophy. Sega WoW, Giant Graham, is honored, noting improved pacing. This page reports on a charity auction event hosted on the Segum.com website. The prize up for auction was the chance to challenge the director of Sports Jam in a series of games. The auction winner, Takane Daifun, a 20-year-old part-time Game Center employee, secured the prize with a bid of 510 yen. The article details the showdown between Takane and Nakayama-san, presumably the Sports Jam director. They competed in a best-of-3 format, but Takane surprisingly won all 6 matches they played. The games featured in the competition were from Sports Jam and included American football, baseball, bicycle racing, 2 rounds of golf, and ice hockey. Takane was awarded a golden trophy by Nakayama-san for his complete victory. The article highlights the event as a fun charity initiative and showcases images from the competition, including the trophy presentation and the moments of gameplay. The charity auction itself ran from December 22, 2000 to January 8, 2001, and the highest bid item reached 43,500 yen. This page is showcasing the game competition between Takane-san, the charity auction winner, and Sega staff members in 3 different arcade games. The first match was in Cosmic Smash, where Sugihara-san from the programming team defeated Takane-san. Sugihara-san's advice for improving at Cosmic Smash is to master controlling the ball. The second game was Star Wars Racer Arcade, and Hirakuchi-san, the assistant director, won against Takane-san. Hirakuchi-san's tip for Star Wars Racer Arcade is to study turbo usage, suggesting watching the movie for hints. Finally, in NASCAR Arcade, Morrison, from Program and Performance Tuning, beat Takane-san. Morrison advises being cautious with steering adjustments in NASCAR Arcade to avoid time loss. The page concludes with images of Takane-san receiving a mountain of prizes as a souvenir from the Sega staff, showing it was a very rewarding experience for him. This page is an advertisement for the magazine The PlayStation 2, which announces a change in the magazine's name. It highlights features in the first issue under the new name, including a special commemorating the PS2's anniversary, a key person interview discussing the console's future, a renewal commemoration campaign with presents, a 3-issue original telephone card giveaway, and the launch of a new manga series. The advertisement encourages readers to look forward to the PlayStation 2 from spring onwards. This reader submission section of the magazine features several segments. Free Talk with Robo discusses the Dreamcast Grand Prix and a reader's emotional reaction to the Dreamcast's discontinuation. Butsu's Fake Guts is a caricature section, while How About Golf is a manga strip about golf games. The Fifth Member is Born showcases reader-submitted character designs. The section also includes the weekly schedule listing game releases for the week of February 16th to February 22nd, with notable titles and special days highlighted. The next page showcases reader submissions for the Pretty Girl Art class, featuring artwork of characters. There are several drawings with comments and names of the artists and their locations in Japan. One drawing is for 100 Swords, another for Grandia, another for Guilty Gear X, and one for Figurehead's Tale. There's a section called Dory Maga Recommended Movies, which highlights 2 movies, 2 Mermaids, and Tokyo Raiders. 2 Mermaids is described as a new generation film that won awards at international film festivals, focusing on a protagonist working in Shanghai and encountering a mysterious woman called Maimei, who is a mermaid. Tokyo Raiders is mentioned as a Hong Kong film finally being released in Japan, a large-scale entertainment work set in Tokyo with a star cast. Finally, there's a ranking chart listing the top 10 Dreamcast games. The top games in the ranking are 1. Brother, 2. Crimson Rivers, 3. Dancer in the Dark, 4. Heart of Woman, 5. 13 Days, 6. Battle Royale, 7. Dog God, Brother Cut Grass, likely a typo and refers to Dog God, Brothers of the Griffin, 8. Vertical Limit, 9. Little Dancer, 10. Dinosaur. This page showcases reader art and gaming news. Fan art includes pieces for Shenmue 2, Ultimate Fighting, and Fellows at Sonic Team. Further down, art of VF1s and Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue are displayed. A tip on drawing on PC is also included. The main article, Game Shop Backstage Akihabara Game Amsaz, covers the Dreamcast production halt's impact on Akihabara game stores. Store staff express mixed reactions, with some anticipating scarcity and price hikes for Dreamcast hardware and software. The article speculates on factors behind the halt, including DVD support delays and the potential influence of Microsoft's Xbox, with a targeted price point of around 50,000 yen. A cartoon at the bottom symbolizes the console's uncertain future. This page highlights Namco's Dream Wheelbarrow Scoop, focusing on Mr. Driller 2 for the Game Boy Advance. It mentions that after its arcade debut, Mr. Driller 2 is finally coming to home consoles, specifically the GBA. It seems many players were hooked on the original Mr. Driller on the Game Boy, so expectations are high for this sequel. There's a Namco corner featuring a Tales of Destiny screenshot, stating it's being ported to RPG, though slightly modified. The page also includes reader submission corners. Gobito Road discusses game terminology, exemplified by a reader questioning the use of Gobito Road itself. Des is another reader section exploring the origin of the term Des, with examples like Death Mask, Death Throttle, and Desperlinger from Mega CD games as possible origins. Finally, Book Me recommends game-related books. Under the novel genre, it features Bobby Z's Unforeseen Grace, a mystery novel by Don Winslow, translated into Japanese. Another novel pick is Ask the Slug, a suspense novel set 40 years in Japan, about a killer trainer and a son seeking revenge. In the comic genre, Inside the Prison is recommended, a comic by a popular manga artist depicting prison life, showcasing themes of bad guys and the allure of villainous characters. This page announces upcoming features for the magazine, including a reader participation section called Real Sega Gaga, where readers can share their Sega game memories and stories. There's a humorous editorial column asking for game ideas and dreams, featuring Assistant Yoshi, and referencing a desire for a Doraemon game, presented by Explosive Rock. A humorous Doraemon's Day schedule appears to playfully depict a game developer's routine, mentioning Super Strike and Doraemon's Day. The page also mentions Passionate Golf sequel and a 21st century section discussing the future of gaming. Finally, Nano Race Specs introduces a character maker called Kiara Meika and their collaborative approach to game creation. This page has a section called Unconfirmed Information Agency that presents humorous reader submissions. These include a story about Wada Akiko appearing in a Harusame no Ohidayo commercial, a funny rumor about Tsukimiya Ayu's headband supposedly being from a Street Fighter, and mentions of Aloeriana, Cherry Blossoms, Nico Nico Duga, and the games Shenmue 2 and Shenmue Chapter 1 Complete Edition. It also mentions that Net P.76 is next. There are 3 comic strips. The first, titled I Am a Sega Believer, is Doraemon-themed and discusses Sega software. The second comic, Inside Sega, humorously portrays game development within Sega, featuring characters resembling Mario and Sonic. The third strip, Quite One-Sided Person, is about someone obsessed with Madden Angels. Finally, the page introduces new CD releases with the headline, Latest Music Information is Here. These include Imai Miki's I May Miki Tour 2000 and Club Hemingway Pride on VHS and DVD, Kome Kome Club's album 00, Chembralo's maxi-single This Michi wo Yuke, SHUUBI's maxi-single Bless, Yurayura Teikoku's album Yurayura Teikoku 2i, and Igawa Hiroshi's maxi-single Love. This page has a section titled, I Hate This Kind of Thing, which is a humorous corner focusing on reader submissions about things they dislike, including jokes about games like Shenmue being tedious, and PlayStation 2 games. There's a Dogmatic Project Shota Corner section, seemingly a reader submission area focused on Shota characters, asking readers if they've created their own. The page also features several comic strips. One strip titled, Slip Competition Shota Committee, depicts a Shota committee in a humorous scenario. Another strip, Everyone, Did You Make Your Shota Character? Shows characters discussing reader-submitted Shota creations. A third strip, Shota Corner, tells a short story related to the Shota theme. A profile section introduces Sakurai Tomoe, born on September 10th in Chiba Prefecture, a singer, stage actress, and voice actress active in various fields, currently a regular on Mariv Magical Passage on Bay FM every Wednesday. Lastly, there's a column. Hello! If you try to leave home early. Written by Sakurai Tomoe, sharing a personal anecdote about arriving early for an appointment, going to a coffee shop, and unexpectedly meeting a former classmate. This page of a Dreamcast magazine, Dorimaga, features several sections. The Dory Hero Opinion Box includes reader requests for more Dreamcast typing games, citing PC examples like Typing of the Dead and Fist of the North Star, and for more cute games aimed at female players. Thus, a humorous scoop announces a cartoon rabbit as the Shenmue 2 final boss. The magazine promotes a Dorimaga exclusive, Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka Complete Edition, with screenshots, encouraging readers to purchase it. A point ranking table tracks scores, and submission rules detail how to submit content. Finally, information on each corner lists various magazine sections, and postcard addresses are also being recruited, provides the address for reader submissions. This page presents a column titled That Person by burning publicist Fumio Kurokawa, discussing the current state of the game industry. The article talks about the resignation of a Dreamcast America executive and questions whether various companies are in trouble financially. It references past console wars between Sega Saturn, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64, and how marketing and software quality impacted their success. The column also mentions the Dreamcast software sales performing well, even against PlayStation 2. The page also features game industry news headlines. Firstly, it's reported that Sigourney Weaver will star in Alien 5, a tentative title. Secondly, TV Tokyo, NTT East, and NTT Communications are collaborating to distribute TV programs online. Thirdly, Konami is set to release fitness games aimed at both adults and children, focusing on user-friendly experiences and health benefits. Next, the Xbox release date is discussed, with reports suggesting a possible delay, and Microsoft responding to inquiries. Lastly, CSK and Sega have become top shareholders of each other. There's also a profile of Fumio Kurokawa, detailing his career from the music and film industries to Sega, where he was involved in promoting Virtua Fighter. He later worked in software marketing and is currently handling promotions at the game distribution company Digicube. Finally, a section titled Kurokawa Fumio Recent Status contains a personal note from Kurokawa about recently enjoying riding his bike after a long break, mentioning some initial engine trouble but overall enjoying the experience. This page is dedicated to the announcement of the OVA ZOE 2167 Idolo, a new anime aiming for a fusion of games and anime, scheduled for release on March 1st. This OVA is related to Konami's ZOE game and is being released on video and DVD VIDEO simultaneously with the game. Produced by Konami and Sunrise, known for anime like Gundam, it serves as a prequel to the game, set 5 years prior, exploring the mysteries of mecha development with protagonists Radium and Dolores. The page details character profiles for Radium Revan, Dolores Hayes, Viola Gunner, and Rachel Lynx, and also provides official website links for VAP, Sunrise, and Konami to get more information about the anime and game. In the topics section, there's an announcement for Aya Hisakawa's best album Berry Best, featuring songs selected by the artist herself and including a DVD and photo card. This page highlights upcoming DVD and video releases for various anime and TV shows. Releases include the final volumes of Handmaid May, Excel Saga, and Versailles no Bara. Other anime featured are Mechanical Legend Flashing Skill 2, Gatekeepers, Cat Life Company Dormitory OVA, Moncall Knights, Magical Doremi, Kamen Rider Kuga, and Nightwalker. Additionally, a classic TV show, Shonen Jet, is being rebroadcast on the Family Geekijo channel, with a new series, New Shonen Jet, launching in March. This page is a manga strip titled Samsung Yoshimatsu Theater that humorously depicts Sega's situation. The comic opens with the bold statement that Sega's warehouse is the best in the world, but quickly contrasts this with the high price of 9,900 yen, which is considered still too expensive. A character marked with 32 appears distressed, lamenting, "I wanted to die," and calling out for "Father, Mother, are you there?" Here. He expresses concern about the factory, implying difficulties at Sega's production or business level. Despite the worries, another character, referred to as Uncle, offers to purchase the product for 9,900 yen, bringing relief. The price is then humorously labeled as cheap. The scene transitions to a more hopeful tone, with falling cherry blossom petals and the mention of Sakura there. There is also a reference to Million Onion Games' third volume is also coming soon. The comic concludes with the idea that things will be even more violent this time, suggesting resilience and continued effort from Sega, despite the challenges hinted at earlier. One character resigns to the situation, stating, "It can't be helped, it's inevitable, you know," while another humorously calls someone a fool. The next page is titled Mokyu Mokyu Dark Heaven Kingdom, Temporary, which is a manga by Makita Yoshiharu. This author, who suddenly emerged in the gal manga scene, introduces his cute manga featuring 3 daughters, Haruna, Kyoko, and Ayu. This particular page features Haruna and Ayu in their elementary school student versions, as the author wanted to draw all 3 but couldn't fit them on the page. The author, Makita, mentions he's been into melodic death metal lately and asks if readers are playing Phantasy Star Online, PSO. He admits he's hooked on PSO despite joining late, highlighting it as a nostalgic title for longtime Sega fans with a unique charm. He finds online play surprisingly enjoyable, even with strangers, describing the camaraderie that develops while completing missions. Beyond PSO, he notes the continued release of network-compatible games on Dreamcast, expressing strong anticipation for Gundam games. Being a Gundam enthusiast himself, he humorously laments that these addictive games are tightening his deadlines, with a self-deprecating remark about it not being funny to laugh about. The manga panel itself features Haruna in a cute dress, emphasized with a speech bubble calling attention to her adorable appearance in this outfit. Manga artist Hanakuma Yusaku discusses his work, particularly his pro wrestling manga compilation, Ring no Shizuku. The interview focuses on his perspective of the 90s wrestling scene, a period he describes as having a biased flow, influenced by changing styles, and the rise of real combat-focused promotions like UWF and Pride. Hanakuma's manga reflects this era, covering figures like Rikidozan and Kenta Kobashi, as well as newer trends. He acknowledges the evolution of pro wrestling, including group disbandments and the emergence of new promotions. He hopes Ring no Shizuku evokes nostalgia for the 90s, reflecting the viewpoint of fans who witnessed that period, shaped by martial arts magazines and fueled by his lifelong interest in the sport. This page is an advertisement spotlighting 2 Dreamcast games and their respective strategy guides. At the top right, there is an advertisement for Moero Justice Gaikuin, known internationally as Project Justice. The advertisement is for a perfect guidebook that promises to help you master the game. It highlights features such as in-depth character data, abundant edit character analysis, airtight versus battle advice, and revealing all hidden elements. It announces that the guidebook is already on sale and provides details like A5 size, 232 pages, full color, a price of 1,600 yen plus tax, and the ISBN number. Below on the left is an advertisement for Guilty Gear X and its official guide Dreamcast version. The guidebook is marketed as a Dreamcast edition that thoroughly pursues the essence of GGX. It lists features such as covering basic character performance to advanced deathblow techniques, detailed CPU battle and versus battle data, maniac techniques to overwhelm even GGX high-level players, and Dreamcast GGX's one and only complete strategy guide. The book is announced for release in mid-February and also provides details like A5 size, 256 pages, full color, a price of 1,800 yen plus tax, and the ISBN number. Visually, the page features character artwork from both games. The top section shows characters from Project Justice, and the bottom section displays characters from Guilty Gear X. This page is an answer sheet for a Dreamcast Magazine survey. It's a questionnaire for readers to provide feedback on the current issue and their Dreamcast gaming habits. The survey asks about the reader's gender, age, occupation, and reading habits of other magazines. It seeks opinions on the current issue's cover and asks readers to select their favorite and least favorite articles from a provided list. Table 1. Readers are asked to rate the Dream Maga Grand Prix section. The survey also collects information about the hardware readers currently own and plan to buy from a hardware list. Table 2. And asks them to choose up to 10 Dreamcast games they are interested in purchasing from a software list. Table 3. Finally, it asks about the frequency of submitting these questionnaires. Table 1 lists articles from the magazine. Table 2 lists various game consoles and accessories, including Dreamcast, visual memory, arcade stick, Dreamcast gun, Dreamcast keyboard, VGA box, Sega Saturn, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and DVD players. Table 3 is a list of Dreamcast games, featuring titles like Outrigger, Aqua Panic, As Snow. Tentative title: Alexander, The Road to Persia, Espionage, Illbleed, NFL 2K1, NBA 2K1, Project Propeller Online, tentative title, and Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. This page from Dreamcast Magazine highlights upcoming and featured Dreamcast games. It serves as an index, guiding readers to different sections for game information. Titles mentioned include Macross M3, Fish Eyes Wild, WWF Royal Rumble, Angel Present, 100 Swords, Arrow Dancing On, Phantasy Star Online, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Saikyoryu Dojo for matching service, Let's Play Golf 2, A New Challenge, Ultimate Fighting Championship, and Saskatsuku Special Edition, Let's Create a J-League Pro Soccer Club. The page includes artwork of characters, likely representing some of these games. This page spotlights the Dreamcast game, Macross M3, presented as a direct sequel to the Super Dimension Fortress Macross's anime series. The game's release is imminent at the time of this magazine, and it's highlighted as the only place players can see Max and Melia in their post-space war forms. The page mentions key staff members involved: Shoji Kawamori, Ichiro Itano, and Haruhiko Mikimoto, emphasizing their involvement in creating a new battle. The genre is identified as a 3D shooting game, SHT, and the release date is noted as February 22nd, with a price of 6,800 yen, 360 points. The page features screenshots of 3D mecha action and an illustration of a character, seemingly Mylene Flare Genius, in a relaxed domestic scene. The accompanying text expresses excitement from Macross's fans, mentioning interviews and the game's 3D shooting Roman style. This page focuses on the characters and mecha of Macross M3. It introduces the main characters as UN Spacey Aces, featuring Maximilian Genius and Melia Felina Genius, alongside their daughter, Moramia Jiffon. The page details the Dancing Skull Special Operations Force, led by Max and Melia, highlighting their stealth and mission execution tactics. The game showcases the history of variable fighters, or VF, in Fighter, Gerwalk, and Batroid modes. Several VF models are presented in VF File Volume 1, including the VF-1 Valkyrie, described as the first transforming mass-produced machine, the VF-4 Lightning, the successor to the VF-1, and the VF-3000 Crusader, noted as an older model. The variable Glaug is also shown, described as a Zentradi's latest combat pod, enhanced with UN Spacey technology. The page also emphasizes the Itano Circus, a visual spectacle of missile barrages, a hallmark of Macross animation style, recreated within the game. Screenshots illustrate the different VF modes in action and the missile effects. The next page delves into the game systems of Macross M3, highlighting two key features that enhance the dogfighting experience. The first is the plug-in system, allowing deep customization of mecha. As you progress, you acquire more mecha, but each has weaknesses. Plugins address these, letting you temporarily boost your mecha's capabilities during missions, effectively tailoring your craft to each situation. The number of plugins you can equip is limited by your mecha's capacity. The page also explains that your playstyle influences the game's progression. Scoring well in stages is crucial, as it determines the availability of new variable fighters and plugins. It's mentioned that even seemingly unimportant elements like background structures should be destroyed for score bonuses. There's a check section pointing to the official Macross M3 homepage, mentioning it features design illustrations of the variable fighters by Hitoshi Kawamori, character designs by Miho Takigawa, and hints at unlocking hidden mecha. The technical command section introduces special commands as a way to escape tricky situations. Flare deployment is highlighted as a simple command for defensive maneuvers in dogfights. Finally, VF File Volume 2 introduces 4 new variable fighter models. The VF-5000 Star Mirage, described as a versatile main fighter with Zentradi technology and ample plug-in capacity. The VF-9 Cutlass, a mass-produced all-terrain fighter excelling in mobility and turning. The VFX-11 Thunderbolt, a 2022 model considered a VF-1 successor, boasting high performance and plug-in capacity. And the VF-14 Vampire, a VF-4 development model with strong armor and fighter mode focus. Macross M3's mission, Dancing Skull, tasks players with quelling a Zentradi rebellion fueled by post-war political unrest and terrorism. Operating independently, players face challenging missions against remnants of the Space War era, including iconic Zentradi mecha like Revolt and Glaug. Episode 7, Devil Gate Drive, focuses on rescuing a captured unified army chief. Players must infiltrate a secret base ahead of standard forces, navigating underground passages in Gerwalk mode, battling remote defenses, and destroids. Stage 16 culminates in a confrontation with 2 destroyed monsters guarding the aid camp's shuttle, requiring a strategic hit-and-run approach with the VFX-11 fighter. The mission's climax showcases the intensity of Dancing Skull's struggle. Ichiro Itano discusses his work on the opening movie for Macross M3. He enjoyed the creative freedom granted by Kawamori, incorporating elements he liked, such as Zentradi mecha and 1970s rock-inspired music. The opening expanded to 2.5 minutes to include a full song. The opening serves as a practical test for a prototype machine set between the original Macross series and Macross 7. Itano aimed for a nostalgic Macross feel, featuring classic mecha in a CG Itano circus style. The opening depicts aerial combat with insect-like enemies and introduces new characters, designed to appeal to longtime fans. The highlighted scene shows Melia on a bright red laser bike, a hobby she enjoys after the space war. This showcases her as a special forces member who can relax and requires no training due to her piloting skills. This page features an interview with Ichiro Itano, discussing his unique Itano circus animation style, which he considers rooted in the Ideon anime, specifically in how missiles were depicted. He explains that this style became established when he started working on the Macross series as a mecha animation director. Itano elaborates on his approach to aerial combat, stating his stance is to depict realistic yet exciting dogfights, emphasizing the G-forces involved. This commitment stems from his personal experience in a simulator training exercise with the U.S. Air Force. During his work on Macross Plus, he aimed to portray the unrealistic aerial combat in a believable way. He also talks about the challenge of making mecha movements look cool in Macross M3, emphasizing that it's not easy. He mentions using trial and error to animate the variable fighters, prioritizing visual appeal over strict adherence to mechanical settings for smooth action. The page also includes a contest, where one lucky winner can receive a picture copy of the Macross M3 opening movie, directly signed by Ichiro Itano. His profile lists his key works including Mobile Suit Gundam, Legendary Giant Ideon, Super Dimension Fortress Macross, and Megazone 23, highlighting his role as a key animator and mecha animation director in these influential anime series. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Fish Eyes Wild, the latest in the Fish Eyes series, just before its release in Japan. The headline encourages players to catch the world's targets. The page highlights the game as a fishing simulation SLG, where you become a fisherman and travel to various global fishing spots, including Australia and the Amazon, to experience extraordinary fishing. It outlines the basic game flow, starting from the lodge, then checking the fishing note, going to the stockroom to prepare equipment, and finally heading out to fish after checking the fish encyclopedia to learn about your target. Screenshots showcase different fish species like the Fish Eyes Wild, king salmon, barramundi, pirucus, and steelhead trout, alongside in-game interfaces for the lodge, fishing notes, and stockroom. The game is described as having beautiful graphics, with the developer stating confidence in it being the #1 fishing game on console, targeting Sega fans, and proclaiming, "DC Forever!" The game is developed by Victor Interactive Software, scheduled for release on February 22nd, priced at 5,800 yen, and is classified as a simulation game, nature and fishing genre. This page continues the preview of Fish Eyes Wild, focusing on lure selection and worldwide fishing locations. It explains that choosing the right lure, range, or depth is key to successful fishing, and categorizes lures into 3 main types: topwater, middle water, and bottom water. For topwater fishing, it introduces popper and frog lures. Middle water lures are represented by spinners. Bottom water lures include deep divers, metal jigs, and crankbaits. The page then showcases 6 global fishing spots featured in Fish Eyes Wild. First is Japan, highlighting yamame and iwana fish found in mountain streams and lakes. North America is next, featuring rainbow trout and northern pike. Canada is represented by king salmon. Australia shows barramundi and brown trout. New Zealand presents bluegill and black bass. Finally, South America is introduced with pirucu and piranha from the Amazon. Each location is depicted with scenic screenshots and descriptions of the target fish. This page features a staff interview titled, Staff Interview, Unraveling the Charm of Fish Eyes Wild, with the development staff interview. The developers, Saito, Sakamoto, and Shimada, discuss the game Fish Eyes Wild, focusing on their aim to make the fish feel alive and independent. They detail the graphics, specifically mentioning the sense of water and the splashes when fish rise to the surface. They aim to portray water as a distinct entity, separate from the fish, yet interconnected. Initially, fish movements were stiff, but they refined it to be more realistic through physics calculations, ensuring fish swim naturally in water, reacting to lures and attacks based on their own AI. The page also includes an interview terminology explanation section, defining key fishing terms. Rise is described as when predatory fish like bass chase smaller fish to the surface. Fish Eyes series refers to the series starting in 1996, known for its beautiful depiction of nature, with the latest title being sold as a PS Best title. Line explains fishing lines used with reels, noting that line thickness in lure fishing is measured in lb, and mentions 10 lb lines are roughly 4.5 kilograms in strength. In this interview, the Fish Eyes Wild developers discuss their design philosophy, focusing on creating a realistic and engaging fishing experience. They strive to make boss battles, like the Pond King, feel challenging and tense through innovative visual cues and gameplay mechanics. The game emphasizes realistic visuals, especially in the fishing scenes, to evoke excitement. Key in-game concepts include Fish Shadow, which utilizes realistic reflections to help players spot fish. The Amazon location features iconic fish like piranhas and purucus, with the Dorado presented as a highly sought-after challenge. The developers also address the player perspective, aiming to appeal to a broad audience of fishing enthusiasts, including those who enjoy bass fishing and lure/fly fishing games. Their goal is to create an authentic and rewarding fishing experience for both experienced and new players. This page showcases WWF Royal Rumble for the Dreamcast, declaring it the pinnacle of sports entertainment. It boasts a high 90% review score, and a message from the developers mentions the team's hard work and intense playtesting, hinting at friendships being tested in versus mode. The game is presented as a true-to-life WWF experience with over-the-top action. Screenshots show gameplay, including backstage brawl scenarios. The page highlights the superstar roster, featuring wrestlers like Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Rikishi, each with a short description. The Rock is described as the people's champion, whose every move excites fans. Stone Cold is the top dirty hero of WWF, and Rikishi is known for his size and dancing, but is secretly a mastermind. A character select screen is also visible, showing a range of wrestlers to choose from. This preview emphasizes the raw excitement and star power of WWF wrestling on the Dreamcast. This page continues the coverage of WWF Royal Rumble, highlighting the deep partner attack system with 90 different combinations. It details how partner attacks are implemented in the game, allowing for strategic, team-based wrestling, a feature not seen in previous wrestling games. The page then moves to the famous Royal Rumble mode, explaining the rules where superstars enter the ring at timed intervals, and the last wrestler standing wins. Elimination occurs by throwing opponents over the top rope. The game allows up to 9 wrestlers in the ring simultaneously. Multiplayer action is emphasized, supporting up to 4 players for chaotic fun, where players can cooperate or compete. The page also shows that battles are not limited to the ring, with backstage areas like parking lots becoming battlegrounds, showcasing the over-the-top nature of WWF and offering varied environments for fights beyond the standard ring setting. Wrestlers like Y2J and the Hardy Boys are also featured on this page. Angel Present is a Dreamcast adventure game where the player, Noto, interacts with 5 heroines in a fantasy world layered over reality. Noto can perceive this hidden world, born from the hearts of girls, setting him apart. The game features several scenarios. Ayana's case focuses on Noto helping a lonely classmate and art club member, Ayana. Miyazaki Sachika's case sees Noto aiding a water polo player whose injury and frustration manifest as a mermaid spirit. Finally, Kaori's case involves helping a shy childhood friend, Kaori, whose sadness originates in the layered world. Screenshots showcase dialogues and scenes from both the real and layered worlds, with environments like forests and underwater settings. Developed by NEC Interchannel, Angel Present was planned for release on April 12th. Angel Present introduces its heroines and explores layered realities. Makabe Yuki's case features a young woman fascinated by insects who must confront herself after meeting the protagonist, Nokato. In the layer world, she's depicted as childlike, reflecting her inner self. Asagiri Ayame's case centers on a hairdresser who lost her dreams. Noto's arrival in the layer world reveals the dream scissors, which Ayame regains. Takamine Shoko's case highlights a refined young woman pressured by her father. Now, Noto attempts to help her from the lair world, where she is trapped in a monochrome environment. The text suggests that when Noto gives the dream scissors to the dream spirit, a synchronization occurs, leading to a change in the girls' hearts upon returning to the real world. This page focuses on the Dreamcast game 100 Swords. It highlights the adventure mode, which lets you experience the stories of young king and queen, with the first 2 episodes available to play. The first episode is titled Day of Mourning, where you confront Masker's assault. It's mentioned that your choices with Nell will slightly alter the story and battles. The battles in the adventure mode are described as not too difficult initially, meant to help you learn the game system. The page details a network match tournament called Battle, Fight, Festival. It started a week after the @Barai version release and was running from February 17th, 12 o'clock to February 20th, 12 o'clock. To participate, you needed to select Battle from the network mode, connect to the internet, register a handle name, and play at least 3 battles during the tournament period. Participation was free and rare prizes were mentioned. There are ADV part sections that seem to be gameplay tips. One section is about the white battle in the red and white war scenario, advising players to choose Be Silent during battle and focus on defeating Neil and Anna quickly at the start. The other ADV part section is about Escape from the Rock Throne, where you need to protect Raph, mainly using Somerville and Neil as support, prioritizing Somerville and Barracks, and leading Raph to the goal while defeating enemies. The Battle of the Approaching Forest in 100 Swords requires destroying the enemy main camp, Location 8. The strategy involves initially avoiding enemy engagements, particularly armored soldiers at locations 12 and 10, and taking Route 7 to circle south. Designate the main camp target. Collect hidden soldiers scattered across the map by moving your leader to designated locations marked, quote, to bolster your forces. Utilize group changes to reassign units if a leader is defeated, to maintain their effectiveness and avoid AI control. Victory is achieved by destroying the enemy main camp. Defeat occurs if your leader is annihilated. The page provides unit data tables for reference. After retaking Ravenslaw, the story progresses to a coronation. You'll choose between Joan or Newell, influencing the story. Selecting Indomitable Minister, post-coronation, unlocks the Forest of Mascariote scenario. The next page continues the 100 Swords guide with several new battle scenarios. The first scenario, Reappearance of the Hill of the Patient, reverse attack to Mascar and awaited sad news, tasks players to defeat Mascar. It mentions that news arrives to Rafe regarding the battles against Mascar. The scenario, 4 Fortress Assault Point, crush the enemy garrison, involves a map where the player needs to choose Somervale and Anna as initial leaders and defend their main camp while attacking enemy garrisons in the north, south, east, and west. The strategy is to divide into 3 squads and attack while being wary of castle walls. The scenario, Storm and Thunder Operation Point, welcome soldiers and hurry to the main camp, is about a battle map where Rafe and Nell with Joan must fight alone. The goal is to collect hidden soldiers scattered around the map to reinforce your army to defend the main camp. The next scenario, Under the Rain, describes a situation with rain and introduces a new event at the Indomitable Minister's Palace, leading to the Forest of Mascariote scenario. The final scenario covered, Mascariote Forest Point, have first squad wait around the main camp, takes place in a forest where visibility is low. The strategy is to leave 1 squad around the main camp and use Aina and Great Air Plus with 2 squads to attack and defeat Davidov. This strategy guide for 100 Swords covers 2 new battle maps. Battle Map 6, Pan Purrowolt, focuses on archer placement on high ground to destroy enemy garrisons and the main camp. Players are evaluated on damage, resources, and clear time. Battle Map 7, Assembly Battle of the Patient, emphasizes securing central resources and the key central hill before destroying the enemy main camp. Horsemen are recommended for resource gathering. The guide also includes ADV sections. Farewell Lentz, Goodbye Queen Mother, depicts Rafe's sorrow upon learning of the Queen Mother's death. Mascar's Cunning Trap, Broken Peace Talks, reveals Mascar's betrayal during peace negotiations, capturing the Queen Mother. Finally, the guide promotes the 100 Swords Online BBS, a forum for players to share strategies and connect with the community. This page is dedicated to Aerodancing Ed, highlighting it as the final installment in the Aerodancing series for the Dreamcast. It showcases new aircraft and mission content for the game, emphasizing the addition of World War II-era replica fighters. specifically the Mitsubishi A6M2B0 and the North American P-51 Mustang. 4 operations are previewed. Sea-based scramble, where you launch from an aircraft carrier to intercept enemy fighters. VIP rescue mission, focused on rescuing a VIP from an enemy area. Allied transport mission defense, requiring you to protect transport planes from Su-27 fighters. And unidentified enemy aircraft scramble mission, where you face unknown enemy aircraft with radar interference on the ground. The article mentions these missions are quite challenging, and that fuel management is critical to avoid crashes, with further strategy details available on page 107. This page continues the focus on aero dancing showcasing even more content with the introduction of 7 color variations for the F-15 DJ Aggressor aircraft. The page highlights the F-15 DJAG-4 and F-15 DJAG-3 models, providing specifications for the F-4 Phantom fighter, noting its development lineage and impressive performance figures. Screenshots showcase different in-game views, and the page details 4 new operations. Operation 5, Enemy Base Top Attack Mission, tasks players with destroying ground forces at a distant enemy base. Operation 6, Mid-Air Refueling Mission, challenges players to master aerial refueling. Operation 7, Enemy Fleet Attack Mission, requires the sinking of 2 approaching enemy fleets. Finally, Operation 8, Naval Battle Mission, focuses on attacking an enemy helicopter carrier, emphasizing the need for refueling at your own carrier due to fuel constraints. The page concludes by directing players to the next page for further mission strategy details. The next page presents a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game Aero Dancing It, focusing on 4 mission types across 2 stages and emphasizing calm aircraft operation. The guide covers Air Attack 12 missions, where the objective is to destroy balloons scattered across the map using machine guns. Point 1 advises slow and steady aircraft control for accurate aiming, while Point 2 suggests initially aiming slightly upwards and then adjusting downwards to quickly destroy balloons in the second stage. For Surface Attack 12 missions, the goal is to destroy ground targets using bombs. The key is bomb dropping timing. Point 1 recommends releasing 2 bombs at a time for better balance and accuracy. The guide shows a visual cue for optimal bomb release timing, indicating to drop bombs when the target reticle aligns with the center circle. Dogfight 12 missions are about defeating enemy aircraft within a time limit. Point 1 suggests using 2 missiles at the start of the mission, as 2 enemy aircraft appear directly ahead, providing an immediate attack opportunity. Point 2 advises rotating and repeating missile attacks as more enemy aircraft appear from behind. The guide notes that understanding enemy aircraft positioning and attack timing are crucial for achieving a high score and becoming a dogfight king. The F/A-18C is recommended as a balanced aircraft for these missions. This page continues the Aero Dancing Eye strategy guide, now focusing on 2 new mission types: aircraft carrier landing and ground attack. For the carrier landing mission, Operation 1, the guide stresses careful aircraft handling, especially avoiding sharp turns and climbs right after takeoff, as speed is low. It advises players to fly slowly and turn gently to the left or right to reach 350 knots. When engaging the enemy MiG-29 fighters, the advice is to remain calm and take them out one by one, as there are only 2 initially. Finally, during the landing phase, players are cautioned to be mindful of the remaining time. The guide then details a 3-step landing procedure, instructing players to reduce speed and altitude, approach the carrier, use air brakes when the carrier fills the screen, and lower the landing gear below 200 knots. Operation 2 covers ground attack missions against tanks. Here, the advice is to approach tanks while slowing down, noting that air brakes are usually forbidden in combat, but necessary here to reduce speed. After destroying the first tank, players should make a wide left turn, disengage the air brake, accelerate to around 350 knots, and gain altitude for the next tank engagement. The guide suggests attacking tanks head-on with gunfire from a distance of 8,000 to 9,000 feet, utilizing medium-range missiles for a high chance of success. Even without missiles, it is emphasized that at least 1 tank should be destroyed, otherwise dogfights will commence. This guide, originally from Dreamcast Magazine, details the strategy for defeating Dark Faults in Phantasy Star Online. The battle is divided into phases. In the first, dodge Darvants, using quick movement, and target the Shining Ones. Use handguns to attack both Darvants and Dark Faults' face, while maintaining distance to avoid attacks like Refroid and Photon Pillar. The second form requires players to stand directly in front and use their strongest attacks. Time Resist carefully, as mistakes can be deadly. The third form necessitates ranged weapons due to Dark Falz's Grant's attacks. Attack during its descent, after it raises its arms. The final battle emphasizes maximizing light resistance.
Even with high defense, Dark Falz's attacks are devastating, especially on higher difficulties. Deadhead. The unavoidable Grant's attack remains a threat. If one-shot, level up further.
This page from Dreamcast Magazine is focused on playing Phantasy Star Online with overseas players, suggesting that it's easier than you think to communicate, even with limited English. It recommends using the R trigger to check other players' language and levels to find compatible teammates. For players not fluent in English, it suggests registering basic shortcut phrases and using the in-game word select system. The guide provides several example phrases for common situations, such as, "I'm not good at English," "Sorry, this team is packed,"
and "Please use word select."
It also includes phrases for expressing yourself like, "I don't understand what you mean," "One more please," "I have no time now," "I must leave," "That item is mine," and "It isn't possible, excuse me." The page cautions against simply saying yes without understanding and provides a list of common internet abbreviations to help players understand online communication,
such as 2 equals 2, 2, 4 equals 4, U equals U, UR equals your, RU equals RU, K equals OK, EZ equals easy, LOL, thanks equals thanks, and NP for no problem. The guide emphasizes that clear communication is important, even if it's just with simple words, and the word select system.
This page continues the Phantasy Star Online theme, focusing on MAG strengthening during a special monthly event. It seems the Dreamcast Magazine exploration team is investigating MAG evolution and forms. They've found that MAG forms change based on the player character's class and the balance of POW, DEX, and MIN stats. The page suggests that the appearance of the MAG might change depending on which stat is highest, at levels 55 and 60. There's also information about rare MAGs and the importance of parameter balance for these, suggesting players should aim for well-balanced MAG stats. New color variations for player costumes are showcased for the Force classes, Fomarl, Phonium, and Phoniel, with color codes provided. The PSO Dreamcast Magazine exploration team is featured, offering to solve players' problems and questions related to Phantasy Star Online. Readers are encouraged to send in their questions via email, providing their address, name, and phone number, and clearly stating their questions. They also mention that they are accepting illustration submissions related to PSO and Dreamcast, similar to the email submissions, and include a postal address for submissions. This page introduces Choo Choo Rocket Dance for the Game Boy Advance, highlighting it as the first entry in a series of enjoyable action puzzles for everyone, from solo players to groups of 4. Developed by Sega and Sonic Team, it's described as a simple yet engaging puzzle game, reminiscent of the Dreamcast version. The game features straightforward rules and controls, emphasizing multiplayer fun for up to 4 players using link cables. It includes a puzzle mode and a Choo Choo Fever event, which appears to be a special mode involving special mice that are worth 50 points each, creating a chaotic and exciting gameplay scenario. The page also mentions elements carried over from the Dreamcast version and new GBA exclusive events. It details the game's release as being planned for April, priced at 4,800 yen, and compatible with 14 players via link cable. The screenshots showcase different gameplay aspects, including puzzle stages and the Choo Choo Fever special event. The page concludes by emphasizing the excitement of multiplayer battles, encouraging players to gather their friends for Choo Choo battles on the GBA. This page focuses on Street Fighter 03 for matching service, advertising it as a Saikyo-style dojo net branch recruitment, inviting players to join the online community. A key feature highlighted is the ability to use characters created in the ISM edit mode, in arcade mode, and online battles. It also notes that save data from the previous game can be converted. The page then provides a strategy guide for clearing the Inferno Island stage within the World Tour mode, stating it unlocks after reaching ISM level 28 and clearing America. Inferno Island consists of 3 stages. Stage 1 is against Ryu and Guki, Akuma, advising players to prioritize defense and exploit Guki's low defense with super combos. Stage 2 pits players against Guki and Vega, M. Bison, suggesting focusing attacks on Guki first as Vega's attacks are mostly single hits. and recommending using the Shun Goku Satsu, Raging Demons. Stage 3 is against 2 Vegas, described as the final challenge with max super combo gauges. The advice is to avoid the Psycho Crusher and punish openings after it, using small attacks to bait Vega into Psycho shots. This guide explores the ISM Plus customization system in Street Fighter Alpha 3, offering players enhancements for their characters. Offensive options include Super Zero Cancel, Zero Combo, Zero Cancel, and Gauge Plus to boost combo potential and gauge management. Defensive options like Super Guard, Infinity Guard, and Guard Power Plus bolster defense.
Other ISMs combine base abilities. The guide recommends key ISM PLS choices.
For offense, focus on Zero Combo and Zero Cancel. Defensively, prioritize Infinity Guard and Guard Power Plus. Gauge Plus is also highly recommended. Damage Plus and Auto Guard are also suggested as useful choices. These modifications cater to diverse playstyles, allowing players to tailor their characters for enhanced offense or defense. This page is focused on Golf Freaks 2 for the Dreamcast, highlighting hidden character unlocks and online play. It details a hidden character appearance GP list, showing characters like Jody, Tommy, Natalie, and many others, each unlockable by achieving a certain GP score in the game. The page mentions that by playing the game and meeting certain conditions, hidden modes will appear, specifically in Ranking Tournament mode, which is presented as a serious round of golf where saving is disabled during play. There is a section discussing online play manners, emphasizing courtesy and good etiquette in online matches, particularly in the lobby and during gameplay, advising players to communicate respectfully and be considerate of others to ensure enjoyable online rounds. The next page in Dreamcast Magazine provides tips on earning GP points in Golf Freaks 2. It suggests playing rounds to steadily earn GP, focusing on holy-knowns on short holes, and utilizing the golf slot machine and blackjack minigames for alternative methods of increasing GP. The page highlights the importance of double down in blackjack to maximize winnings. Finally, it showcases the best club and ball sets for various characters, including Natalie Wallenstein, Ryoko Sao Tome, Mahia Estevez, Jody Valencia, Tommy Griffith, and Raphael, listing specific wood, iron, and ball set numbers and their stat bonuses compared to the default sets. This page in Dreamcast Magazine is a guide for Ultimate Fighting Championship, focusing on how to enhance fighters using the Edit Fighter mode. It explains that by clearing UFC mode, you unlock the fighter's model and fighting style for use in Edit Fighter mode, allowing you to learn hidden techniques that aren't available to the original fighters. The page details hidden fighters that can be unlocked by fulfilling specific conditions in UFC mode. These include Masked Type, unlocked by clearing UFC mode with 6 characters. This style uses wrestling techniques. Card Girl Type, unlocked by clearing UFC mode with 22 characters, offering a shoot fight style with female voice selection. Bruce Type, unlocked by clearing UFC mode in Edit Fighter mode. This style incorporates pro wrestling moves not normally available in UFC mode, like dropkicks and German suplexes. Referees Type, unlocked by clearing Champion Road mode against 12 opponents using an Edit Fighter. This unlocks a referee model, based on John McCarthy, with referee wrestling style. The guide also suggests parameters to focus on leveling up in Edit Fighter mode. Life, increase early to avoid losing sparring matches.
Stamina, raise to level 78 for comfortable gameplay.
Punch skill, prioritize to gain sparring points effectively.
Kick skill, can be considered later depending on fighting style.
This page continues the guide for Ultimate Fighting Championship and details a method to create a powerful fighter in just 30 minutes. The guide recommends a 4-step process involving sparring and skill point allocation.
Step 1 is sparring with KSUJIMUROTA.
The advice is to focus on guarding and achieving KOs to accumulate points. Step 2 suggests, after 45 sparring sessions and once around 60 points are earned, to use all those points to enhance the punch skill of your custom fighter. This creates a fighter with strong punches, but potentially lacking in other areas like stamina. Step 3 advises that the next sparring target should be Ian Thomas, who is level 22. The strategy against Ian Thomas is to use tackles followed by LP plus RP combo attacks. Step 4 explains that after accumulating around 700 points, it's time to spend them on acquiring new skills and techniques to finalize your powerful fighter build. The page also features a breaking news section announcing a media rivalry UFC Summit Battle in Capcom event held in early February in Shinjuku. This event involved media writers and strategy assistants in a tournament. It highlights a surprising upset where the Capcom certified DC champion was defeated. Photos from the event are included, showcasing the participants and the unexpected victor. This page focuses on J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, known internationally as Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager, and delves into player development through matches. It explains that player abilities grow not just through training, but also by playing matches. The article details how different positions benefit in unique ways from match experience. For example, goalkeepers significantly improve their GK skills and catching ability, while forwards boost their shooting and dribbling. Center defenders enhance tackling and passing, and side defenders see growth in tackling, passing, and dribbling. Midfielders also get improvements tailored to their roles, such as pass and keep skill for defensive midfielders, and shooting, dribbling, and keeping skills for offensive midfielders. Interestingly, the guide points out that certain playstyles like post player, striker, and dribbler, along with mental strength, don't significantly improve through match play. However, fundamental abilities such as running, stamina, and tactical understanding do increase in matches, albeit at a slower pace. There's also a section advising players to actively use weaker players in matches, even against stronger opponents, to maximize their growth potential. The overall message is to strategically utilize matches to develop your players' skills according to their positions and roles within the team. This page continues the focus on Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager. It delves into the relationship between participating in major tournaments, winning matches, and player growth. The article explains that larger tournaments offer benefits beyond just prize money, such as increased media exposure and higher viewership, which in turn can bring more sponsors and revenue to the club. It highlights that winning matches also significantly boosts player development rates. The page presents verification experiments to demonstrate these points. One experiment compares players who actively participated in various tournaments for a year against those who didn't play any matches. The results show that players who participated in tournaments experienced growth in their offensive skills, while those who didn't play saw a decline in offensive abilities and stagnation in overall development. Another experiment contrasts clubs that consistently won matches with clubs that intentionally kept losing. After a year, the analysis of player ability graphs revealed minimal difference between the two groups. This suggests that simply playing matches is more crucial for development than constantly winning or losing, at least within a year-long time frame in the game simulation. The experiments use player ability graphs to visually represent these changes over time. This installment of the Hidden Techniques Corner focuses on Dreamcast game tricks, despite the console's production ceasing. Tips include accessing Sega Rally 2's 10-year championship mode with a button sequence, changing Akihabara Denu Gumi Patapi's startup voice by using a Dreamcast gun, viewing Elemental Gimmick Gear's enemy list and riding the Justice Hover with specific button presses, and repeatedly obtaining T7 bombs in Carrier by exploiting a box. The article also encourages submissions of player-discovered techniques via postcard, offering prizes like software and coupons for accepted entries. This page advertises strategy guides for 2 games. The top half is for authoritative, which is described as the only official and complete strategy guide for the game. It highlights that this guide will teach you the secrets of authoritative. The guide is scheduled for release in late February and is an official complete guide for authoritative. It is priced at 1,500 yen plus tax and is 112 pages long in A5 size and full color. The guide's content includes information, strategies, techniques, and top-secret materials covering all aspects of the game. Specifically, it details thorough strategies for all 32 missions, provides explanations for flight simulator beginners, lists the abilities of all aircraft, explains newly added air-to-ground attack elements, and includes air combat maneuvering explanations useful for internet battles. The bottom half of the page advertises a 100 Swords Perfect Guide for the real-time strategy simulation game 100 Swords. This guide promises to be a complete strategy for network battles and is scheduled for release in mid-February. It is priced at 1,600 yen plus tax, A5 size, 128 pages, and in full color. The guide covers maps, units, items, and strategies for all battles. This page is focused on the game Eternal Arcadia, known as Skies of Arcadia internationally, featuring the character Drachma. Drachma is described as a sky man, carrying a heavy destiny. The page details Drachma's profile. He is 55 years old. His birthday is the 25th of Green Month. He is 185 centimeters tall and weighs 162 kilograms, including his prosthetic arm. His hobby is fishing. His special skill is his ship piloting. His ship is named Little Jack. He likes Mobius, and he dislikes troublesome things and the idea of defeating Mobius. Screenshots from Skies of Arcadia are displayed, showing scenes with Drachma and other characters and airships. The page also invites reader submissions of comments and fan art related to Skies of Arcadia, suggesting topics like memorable in-game moments, impressive details within the game, and mysteries of the world. They are also running a character popularity poll, and the readers who submit to the Sky Mailbox section are entered into a monthly prize draw. The Eternal Arcadia Drama CD extends the world of Skies of Arcadia, featuring the original game's voice actors. Producer Riko Kotama and character illustrator Hoshino Sensei discuss the CD's focus on unexplored relationships, particularly between Vrisay and Ramirez. The scenario, penned by the original game's writer, Fujisawa-san, mirrors the comic adaptation and covers the game's entire storyline, including a rivalry between Viris and Ramirez. The drama CD also features scenes such as Aika and Fina having tea together and aims to influence the ongoing comic adaptation.
If successful, an anime adaptation is planned.
The page also includes a 4-panel comic and a shipwright's portrait section. The next page is a feature about Hotel Epinard Nasu, presented as a woman-friendly hotel where the character O'Hara is on a quest to learn kindness. The article humorously depicts O'Hara's visit to the hotel, where he aims to understand what makes it so woman-friendly. It highlights the hotel's amenities and facilities like hot springs, and shows O'Hara interacting with the hotel manager in a comical way. The feature seems to be an advertisement presented in an editorial format, showcasing the hotel's appeal with a lighthearted narrative. It also includes contact information for Hotel Epinard Nasu, located in Nasu, Tochigi Prefecture, Japan. This page continues the feature about the Hotel Epinard Nasu and O'Hara's experience there. It details his exploration of the hotel's health salon, where he gets a foot massage, comically shown with before and after photos highlighting his painful expression, and the text saying, "O'Hara is healthy." There's a message from the hotel manager, Mr. Nakayama, expressing welcome and promoting the Western-style cuisine. The feature then describes a champagne party with the manager held every night at 9 p.m. for hotel guests, emphasizing that participation is free. Finally, it mentions a Hotel Epinard Nasu Cup 7 Narabi tournament, which is taking place from February 22nd, Thursday, to February 25th, Sunday, with 8 or more matches scheduled. Prizes are listed, including suite room stays for winners and other top ranks, all including French cuisine. The tournament application method is described as sending an email with your character's hot spring name and hot spring ID by February 25th at 11:59 p.m. This page is titled Treasure Hunter Information Page and features news about Treasure Strike. The Tulip News section announces that the Tulip News section is nearing its end, with only one more issue remaining. It mentions that this and the last issue will deeply explore Treasure Strike, focusing on its setting and expressing hope it will be a fun feature for fans. The official Treasure Strike website and email address for messages to Wakana-chan are listed. The BR Daria notice board section mentions that the Net Battle server is going into maintenance and will reopen in March with a renewed store. It then discusses 21st century numbershot recipes, giving details for attack power, bullet count, and reaction. The Veteran Hunter Wakana-chan's Diary Volume 12 section reports on the 5th Double Trap Tournament Stomping Love, held on February 3rd. It describes an incident where a network battle usage right expired during the tournament, but it was still successful. The tournament was limited to 16 participants, with 3 advancing to the semifinals.
The winning player is named Pink Rabbit Makoto-san. The page also features game screenshots from Treasure Strike, showing gameplay with traps and explosions, highlighting the horror minefield stage and intense battles. The screenshots are described as over there and over here, showing various gameplay perspectives and actions. It concludes by congratulating the winner, Makoto-san, and mentioning it was his birthday on the day of the tournament.
This Setting Original Drawings page unveils design sketches for Treasure Strike, beginning a 2-part feature. Part 1 focuses on rival hunters, showcasing sketches of red-eyed Kotsu, originally without a full mask, Kotsu's henchman, Telzum, who spoke standard Japanese in early versions, and Buffalo, whose design underwent revisions. The second section, Hey Rika Emperor, presents sketches for supporting characters. Monbuchi, initially without an afro. Dr. Hi-Hat equals Hein, with a comedic direction in early designs. Smile Man Colonel, intended to have a more mature vibe. Honey Pie, described as lacking sexiness in the design. QT Pie, plain-looking. And Harao, whose design remained largely unchanged. The page ends with a "Next time, good final episode" announcement, and encourages players to create new characters. The Treasure Strike logo and a game interface screenshot are also included. The next page is dedicated to fan submissions for the Imperial Capital Journal, issue number 19, and it's a special feature focused on Sudameyer and Oshigami from the Sakura Wars series, promising a 2-page spread over 3 issues. The editor, Gasquet, mentions a random musing about coffee shop choices near the office. The page showcases fan art and comments about Sudameyer and Okagami from different regions of Japan, such as Hokkaido, Kanagawa, Chiba, Tokyo, Miyagi, Saitama, and Fukuoka. Each entry features a different artistic style and a short comment, praising aspects like Ogami's coolness, Sulameyer's charm, and the overall appeal of both characters. There's also a section called Imperial Capital Underground Purchasing Department, which seems to be about unique in-game items, mentioning a Kana special bento box with local delicacies like Goya Chanpuru and Mimiga. Finally, a small box describes the Heart and Mind Choice branching display system, highlighting how the game visually represents character choices and inner thoughts, making it easier to express difficult feelings and even showcasing unconscious reactions as players become more familiar with the system. This page showcases fan art submissions for a Sakura Wars character popularity ranking, specifically issue 19 of the Imperial Capital Journal. It's a Sudameyer picture scroll Komura Hito special, featuring 22 fan-drawn images of Sudameyer Kenzaki, as a reward for the artist Komura Hito, who had the most submissions. The ranking is titled Imperial Assault Force Ranking 21 Wide and focuses on single characters or pairs with Ogami. Currently, Reni is in first place with 35 votes, followed by Sakura in second with 33 votes, and Sumeyer in third place with 30 votes. Sumeyer apparently dropped from the top spot due to a special feature and lost 28 votes. Other featured characters in the ranking include Maria and Kana tied in fourth place, Iris in 6th, Ohegami in 7th, and further down are characters like Erika, Hanabi, Glycine, Kokelikot, and Lobelia. Each entry includes a small fan comment about the character or the artwork itself, mentioning details like Reni's dress, Sakura's pajamas, and Sulameyer's connection to the Sakura Wars GB sound mode, and Tango! The page also gives an address for submitting illustrations, photos, and articles to the Dreamcast Magazine's editorial department for the Imperial Capital Journal. The next page delves into the secrets of the giant company DOGMA, showcasing the Dreamcast game Sega. This business simulation game, developed by Sega and Hitmaker, is scheduled for release on March 29th, priced at 5,800 yen. The article paints a picture of DOGMA, a powerful corporation that emerged in 2002s and rapidly dominated the gaming world, eventually absorbing even Sega by 2025. The game centers around a Project Sega to counter DOGMA's influence. The page introduces the enigmatic DOGMA president, depicted as a shadowy figure with mysterious origins and abilities, including hypnotic powers and a bulletproof mantle. Another strange element is Artificial Life E, a bizarre entity used in DOGMA's game development, said to enhance games significantly. A pie chart illustrates DOGMA's dominance in the game industry, with Sega holding only 22% share. The text emphasizes that Sega is the only force capable of opposing DOGMA's immense power, positioning Sega as a desperate fight for survival. The game appears to be a self-parodying commentary on Sega's own struggles in the industry at the time. This page highlights the limited edition of Sega and the appealing merchandise it includes. The limited edition features a pin set celebrating Sega's hardware history, with logos from consoles like Sega Mark II, Game Gear, Mega Drive, Saturn, and Dreamcast. There is also a t-shirt included, sporting the Sega logo on the front, and a design on the back inspired by classic Sega controllers. The design is described as cool and nostalgic, even for younger players unfamiliar with older Sega consoles. Additionally, the page shows newspaper clippings announcing Sega in the news, reporting on its positive reception and Hitmaker's decision to increase the initial production of the limited edition due to high demand. A comment from Hitmaker's public relations manager, Sasahara, expresses surprise at the game's popularity and urges players to purchase the limited edition, emphasizing it's exclusively available through D-Direct. This page is about mastering cool skating tricks in the game Air TRX. It highlights special tricks that each character can perform to achieve an S rank. The page serves as a guide to special tricks, explaining they are unique to each character, with 3 available for each. It mentions that button input is required before launching off a ramp. The guide shows example special tricks like MAC Twist, Boneless, 90 Roll, WHI Cream, Hand Plant for characters Jake, Cody, Indy, and Tony, along with their button inputs and screenshots of the tricks in action. The page emphasizes that mastering these special tricks is key to getting high scores and earning coins in the game. The Air TRX guide introduces 2 coin-earning trick types. Lock-on tricks, simple maneuvers for beginners yielding 4 coins initially, then 1. More advanced are bonus tricks, rewarding coins based on trick grade and combos. A good or cool grade G earns 10 coins, while grade S with a 5 combo and MBO earns 14 coins. The game features profiles for Spidey, Linda, and Tony, each with distinct personalities. Spidey is quiet but kind, Linda is wild and worldly, and Tony is influenced by old-school skating. Interviews with developers reveal insights. Chief programmer Inada lost weight during playtesting, character designer Nishikawa enjoyed character creation, and stage designer Sano emphasizes detailed stages and character-specific motions. This page showcases Dynamic Golf, a game from WOW Entertainment. It emphasizes the standard and enjoyable gameplay of golf, promising beautiful 18-hole courses. The advertisement highlights that a Dreamcast version is planned for release, and introduces Barbara as a control player character within the game. It's presented as a classic golf experience for the Dreamcast. The next page details the gameplay and modes of Dynamic Golf, known in Japan as Sakigake Naomi Juku. The game emphasizes its unique trackball control system, aiming for a more analog and realistic golf feel compared to typical button-press timing-based golf games. It features 4 player characters: George, a standard player, David, a power player, and Kyoko, a technique player, with Barbara, the control player, introduced on the previous page. 4 game modes are available: Stroke Play for 14 players competing on total score, Match Play for 2 players focusing on winning more holes, Skins Game for 24 players where the best score per hole wins prize money, and an 18-hole challenge for 1 player aiming to complete all 18 holes within a set number of shots. The page highlights how to control ball direction and power using the trackball for shots. This page is about recommendations for typing software. It notes the recent boom in typing software within the PAC industry, and how this trend is also appearing on Dreamcast. The article explores why PC typing software is popular, pointing out that PCs are now common in homes, and people want to learn to type or improve their skills using games. It also mentions that developing typing software is considered relatively easy. The page highlights a typing software product called Toku-Uchi as a recommendation. The article also features a recent sales ranking best 5 list of typing software, which includes 1. Zakuta Typing Mobile Suit Gundam Typing 1 Year War, which is a typing game based on the popular Gundam anime series and focuses on the 1 Year War storyline. Quote. 2. Space Battleship Yamato Typing Wave Motion Gun, a typing game themed around the classic anime Space Battleship Yamato, emphasizing the iconic wave motion gun. Quote. 3. Zombie Typing, The Typing of the Dead, likely referring to the Dreamcast arcade classic The Typing of the Dead, a typing game where you type words to defeat zombies. 4. Typing Ugi Hokuto no Kengeki Day 2, which is Fist of the North Star Typing. Fierce Strike 2, a typing game based on the Fist of the North Star manga and anime. 5. Typing Momo Postpet Typing Land, a typing game featuring characters from the popular communication software Postpet. This page explores the Dreamcast typing environment and its advantages. It showcases both the standard Dreamcast keyboard and an older style keyboard, emphasizing that a keyboard is a must-have for online gaming and communication, particularly with the rise of games like Phantasy Star Online. The article highlights the ease of text input for web browsing and email, as well as the enhanced chat experience in online games, using Phantasy Star Online as an example. For those wanting to improve their typing skills, The Typing of the Dead is recommended as excellent practice software. The page also lists several Dreamcast games that are more enjoyable with typing, including the popular online RPG Phantasy Star Online, the flight simulation game Aerodancing Id, the party game Get Bass,
Fishing Fever, the classic puzzle game Tetris, and the unique action puzzle Choo Choo Rocket.
Finally, there's a coffee break section that amusingly covers a typing competition using The Typing of the Dead. A Sega employee known as Ms. Fukasawa, who appeared in The Typing of the Dead TV commercials, competed against a magazine reporter and won. The section includes photos of the competition and the triumphant Ms. Fukasawa. This page is an interview with Masahiro Kano, the director of the Dreamcast version of The Typing of the Dead. Kano humorously acknowledges the uniqueness of using original assets from House of the Dead for a typing game, describing it as a bit of a cheat, but enviable. He explains that typing software needs a certain level of lightheartedness, and the development team embraced this playful approach. Kano touches on the game's difficulty and the extensive work involved in creating a large vocabulary of around 12,000 words. He points out the Dreamcast version's advantage of having a two-player mode, something not possible on PC at the time. He mentions that they prioritized the arcade version initially and then considered user customization for the home console PC version, but opted for a simpler experience for the arcade to avoid user setup hassles. The page showcases various game modes. The arcade mode, also called original mode, follows the storyline of The House of the Dead 2 and includes item stock elements. Drill mode is for categorized typing practice and score attack. Tutorial mode is designed to teach touch typing. Finally, boss mode features boss battles with longer sentences and quiz-like questions. The page also highlights the official website for The Typing of the Dead, where you can find word lists and passwords. Game data indicates it was released on March 30, 2000, priced at 4,800 yen, and supports 2 players. It also notes that the arcade version received favorable reviews. The next page continues the discussion with Mr. Kano, the director of The Typing of the Dead. He expresses his hope that the game surpasses expectations and is enjoyable to play directly. He mentions the effort to support various input methods and regrets the absence of online ranking, which he felt was a missed opportunity for a typing game. Kano humorously talks about the challenge of creating funny and interesting questions and ensuring they are not inappropriate. He highlights the 2-player simultaneous play mode as a unique feature for a typing software game, allowing for competitive and cooperative play. The page showcases beginner-friendly tutorial mode and emphasizes the engaging and humorous nature of the words presented in the game. It also points out the game's ability to automatically recognize different Roman character inputs, making it accessible to a wider range of players. There are screenshots showcasing these features, and a game data box mentioning the release date of the PC version as December 7, 2000, along with system requirements including Windows OS, Pentium 2233 MHz CPU or higher, 64 MB RAM, 800 MB hard drive space, and a graphics card supporting Direct3D. It also notes the price at 5,500 yen, and Sega as the publisher. This page delves into the world of typing games, highlighting several titles that leverage popular anime and manga franchises. First up is Typing Secret Art, Fist of the North Star Fierce Battle, where you type to unleash Kenshiro's Hokuto Shinken techniques against enemies like Rao. The game features voice acting from original anime cast members and aims to recreate the anime's impactful sound effects and visuals. Next we have Typing of the Gundam, set during the One-Year War. This title features sea-rendered mobile suits and integrates iconic scenes and music from the Gundam universe, specifically mentioning themes from the original series. It's described as having straightforward typing gameplay with original Gundam background music. Space Battleship Yamato Typing Wave Motion Gun is also showcased, based on the classic anime. This game includes movie scenes and original voice acting, promising to revive the anime's romance. It is mentioned that the difficulty can be adjusted, with source material available on the developer's website. Finally, the page shifts to a coffee break segment featuring Typing Battles with Sega's Beautiful OLs. This section reports on a fun event where Dreamcast Magazine staff competed in typing games against Sega's female office workers, named Takeda Mariko-san and Oka Hitoma-san. The event is described as a 3-round competition where the Sega OL team emerged victorious. This page reviews several typing games, starting with beginner-friendly Momo and the action-packed Typing Sniper Golgo 13. The article notes a shift towards typing games on the PlayStation 2, exemplified by Typing Partner, Arita Joe's Strike, due to the console's USB keyboard support. It praises 3D typing games, particularly Typing of the Dead, for their engaging gameplay. The article concludes by announcing a giveaway of 7 typing games, including the titles mentioned, to readers who submit a postcard with feedback by February 22nd. This page is an advertisement for the PlayStation Magazine, promoting their strategy guidebooks. It announces new strategy guides are okay in one book and highlights upcoming titles like Monster Farm, Aisha ZOE, Shadow of Memories, and teases strategy guides for PlayStation 2 games, including Sakura Taisen and Virtua Fighter 4. The page also lists a range of strategy guides available in February and March. For February, it lists guides for games like Phantasy Star Online, Super Robot Wars Compact 2 Part 3, DOA 2 Hardcore, Saskatsuku Special Edition J-League Pro Soccer Club, Favorite Dear Junpaku no Yoshibito, and Burning Rangers. For the later part of February, it lists guides for 100 Swords, Arrow Dancing id, Tsukuyumi Full Moon, and Ultimate Fighting Championship. For mid-March, it advertises a strategy guide for Densha to Go 3 Commuting Edition. The ad includes an illustration with manga-style characters and features the Game Espot GA graphic branding, promoting their online content. This page is discussing how to enjoy 21st century game sound with a Dreamcast multi-speaker setup, focusing on speaker language and connecting to a 5.1 channel audio environment. It explains that with DVDs becoming popular, multi-speaker environments are now more accessible, and this article explores new ways to enjoy game sound on the Dreamcast using these setups. It details how to connect the Dreamcast to a 5.1 channel AV receiver and speakers, including a diagram showing speaker placement for subwoofer, front left, center, front right, and rear left and right speakers. It introduces the concept of simulating surround sound from 2 channel sources like the Dreamcast's stereo output, and discusses Dolby Surround Pro logic. The page highlights the MDR-DS5100 by Sony, a device that can create virtual surround sound from stereo sources like the Dreamcast using Dolby Digital and DTS, and comes with headphones. The article emphasizes that even stereo audio from the Dreamcast can be enjoyed in a multi-channel environment with the right equipment, enhancing the gaming experience. This page showcases various home theater speaker systems designed to enhance the gaming experience with the Dreamcast. Building on the previous page's discussion of 5.1 channel audio, the Yamaha VS10 system is highlighted as an easy-to-set-up 5.1 channel speaker system, emphasizing convenient placement. Creative Cambridge's Playworks 3500 desktop theater system is presented as a compact option for creating a cinema environment with speakers small enough to fit on your palm. The Onkyo PHC-5 Phantom Cinema speaker offers a simplified setup without rear speakers, using virtual surround sound technology, and is compatible with Dolby Surround Pro logic. Finally, the Aiwa HED 701 home theater speaker is described as a virtual speaker type, suitable for situations where speaker placement is limited, emphasizing its ability to create a realistic sound field even with fewer speakers. The page uses diagrams to illustrate the difference between virtual speaker and real sound source setups, showcasing different approaches to creating surround sound. The next page continues the theme of enhancing gaming sound, showcasing various audio and video products designed to elevate the Dreamcast experience. Yamaha presents the DPU-50 multimedia sound processor, emphasizing its Dolby Digital and DTS compatibility for both headphones and speakers, and highlighting Yamaha's proprietary Cinema DSP for immersive sound. Denon introduces the AVC5 HAV surround amp as an entry-level option for 5.1 channel surround sound, supporting Dolby Surround Pro logic. Kenwood offers the KRFV3030D Multi-AV Center, also supporting Dolby Digital and DTS, for creating a multi-channel audio environment. Denon also features the AVR1801NAV surround amp, positioned as a higher performance model than the AVC5H, suited for movies and DVD titles with advanced surround capabilities. Lastly, Sony showcases the KV24DA1 Wide TV, equipped with Game Surround WOW, a built-in surround sound feature tailored for gaming, and even includes a dedicated game button for easy access to gaming settings. The page emphasizes that immersive surround sound for gaming can be achieved not just with dedicated speaker systems and AV amps, but also through televisions with integrated virtual surround sound technologies. This page continues the focus on sound, highlighting games with impressive audio. It features Magic Sword X, an adventure game from Atlas released in 1999, priced at 6,800 yen, emphasizing its 3D sound system for enhanced immersion. Next is Guilty Gear X, a 2D fighting game by Sammy, released in 2000 for 5,800 yen. The review praises its realistic sound effects and excellent background music, calling it a title that redefines sound in fighting games, and recommends experiencing it with the volume up. Romania number 203, a life simulation game from Sega, released in 2000 for 5,800 yen, is presented as a drama-focused game where sound plays a key role in portraying everyday life. F355 Challenge, a racing simulator also from Sega, released in 2000 for 5,800 yen, highlights its realistic Ferrari F355 engine sounds. Finally, D no Shokutaku 2, D2, an action-adventure game by Warp released in 1999 for 6,800 yen, is noted for its effective use of sound effects to build drama. DC Must-Hear Titles. BGM Edition spotlights Dreamcast games with outstanding soundtracks. Space Channel 5, a music game, is praised for its immersive sound and recommends surround sound for an enhanced experience. Grandia 2, an RPG, offers soothing music, including insert songs. Crazy Taxi, a driving action game, features high-energy BGM from popular artists, enhancing the fast-paced gameplay. Jet Set Radio and Nappletale, both street action titles, are recommended for their cool indie and anime-inspired soundtracks, respectively. Finally, Rent a Hero No. 1, a 3D action RPG, highlights its unique sound design created by renowned Sega sound creators, emphasizing the console's capabilities. This page of Dreamcast Magazine Volume 20 is dedicated to Mail Chum, a service linked to the romance-adventure game Sentimental Prelude on Dreamcast, allowing players to exchange emails with characters. It introduces 3 potential email partners: Ayaka Hitomi, described as active and sporty; Sayori Minahara, portrayed as calm and gentle; and Yumi Nagase, depicted as trendy and fashionable. The page also highlights CDS Channel, announcing its reactivation and promising content updates. Jet Girls Gossip Plaza is a section featuring user-submitted content and dialogues. The next page is Kamimura Sachiko's DC game Tiger's Den, Volume 5, dedicated to the game Sengoku Turb. This section appears to be a humorous comic strip discussing the game. It highlights how some players approach role-playing games seriously, carefully considering choices for strategic advantage, while others prefer a more relaxed style, enjoying the game casually and making impulsive decisions. The comic features a character called Cameron Soramachi, described as a cat-like game enthusiast and author of How to Make Everyone a Gamer. The author of this comic section, Kamimura Sachiko, introduces herself as an animator, illustrator, and a casual gamer who has recently started playing Phantasy Star Online. The comic playfully touches upon the common scenario in games where players are faced with choices, sometimes absurd ones, and the different ways players react to such situations, culminating in a victory dance panel, suggesting a lighthearted take on gaming achievements. This page presents Guru Guru Create-chan, Episode 34, titled When I Fly in This Sky. It's a humorous comic strip and character introduction sections. On the left, the characters are introduced. Guru Guru Kun is a middle schooler, aiming to be a scientist who loves creating creatures. Usagi is a rabbit-like creature with human-level intelligence. Aoi-chan and Aoi-san are a combined creature, with Aoi-chan as the body and Aoi-san being the face on the chest. Ayase-kun is a mecha enthusiast who acts as Meishi-san's guard. Meishi-san is a narcissistic school idol who also loves fluffy things. Oki-sensei. Oki-sensei is a social studies teacher known as Hell's insurance salesman, and is knowledgeable about the occult. Finally, Kashiko-chan is a transparent creature visible only to Aoi-san. The comic strip itself depicts Meishi-san becoming interested in Guru Guru-kun's creatures, finding them cute, and deciding to make them more fashionable. This causes a stir among the characters, with Guru-Guru-kun appearing worried and Ayase-kun and others showing envy at the attention Guru-Guru-kun is receiving from Meishi-san. Oka-sensei observes and comments on the situation, possibly comparing it to being a pet master. The strip ends with Meishi-san suggesting to put makeup on Guru-Guru-kun's creatures. This week's Dreamcast Astrology provides horoscopes for the week of February 16th-22nd for all zodiac signs. Aries should focus on health and avoid lending money, while Taurus anticipates good results but needs to watch spending. Gemini seeks balance, Cancer should enjoy activities to reclaim time, and Leo needs to recharge. Virgo's finances will fluctuate, Libra needs healing and a trip to a museum, and Scorpio should expect a fun work week. Sagittarius may worry about love, Capricorn's luck is improving, Aquarius should be careful of accidents, and Pisces anticipates calls and should manage their time wisely. Each sign includes a lucky color and item. The page also features Hakozaki Itama's Corner, discussing winter sports experiences. This page details special presents for readers from Dreamcast Magazine and a preview of the next issue. For presents, there's a Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, Truth Flagman's Book Prize, Dreamcast-compatible software where winners can request a game released after February 23, 2001, an original Dreamcast name card case, original t-shirts, and a Dream Maga cover telecard featuring Tricolor Crisis. 2 Ice Out shirts, designed by Sega, are also up for grabs, one featuring a girl character, and the other, Tales from Sonic. The next issue, dated March 9th, teases a special feature, an interview with Sega's development division about their future software. It highlights upcoming Dreamcast GDROM special movie recordings for games like Crazy Taxi 2, Sakura Wars 3, Paris is Burning, Ease, NBA 2K1, NFL 2K1, World Series Baseball 2K1, Illbleed, and a title that seems to be mistranslated as Fire Emblem The Virgin on Megiddo, which is more likely a reference to a different game. There is also mention of Spring Rain Cage. Finally, there's a section about the AOU show, featuring handheld Phantasy Star Online, Makoto Tsukumo, Air Dancing id, Fighting Vipers 2, and Saskatsuku 3. Let's make a J-League Pro Soccer Club 3, plus Dreamcast server network information. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game, Close to Inori no Oka. It's advertised as a love-adventure game set to be released in Japan in April 2001, with a suggested retail price of 6,800 yen before tax. The tagline reads, "So close, so far," and the artwork features 4 anime-style female characters. The game is published by KID for the Dreamcast. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Macross M3, which was released on February 22, 2001, priced at 6,800 yen. The advertisement highlights a lucky card campaign where purchasers can win prizes. The prizes are divided into categories. The Macross prize offers a 1/24th scale VF1 S-Fighter Valkyrie model to one winner. The Max prize includes a Yamato Macross Complete Transformation Series VF11B Thunderbolt model, with 50 winners. The Milia prize features model kits of VF1A, VF1J, and VF1S from Hasegawa, with 150 winners, each getting one kit. The Moraramiya prize is the Victor Entertainment Macross M3 Soundtrack Mini Soundtrack, with 100 winners. The bottom of the page lists official websites for Macross and Shusha.